Restaurants o festival?
Rugs, this is, you know what the future of Friday nights is? It's the future. Friday nights, people don't go out anymore, do they, Rugs?
No, they just masturbate to porn.
They, they masturbate to porn, and they hang out on Blab and watch interactive, live, fun shows like this one. So what do you say we entertain the people, Rugs?
Yes, launch all torpedoes.
It's the Jock and Nerd podcast. This is Jock and Nerd Weekly for January 22nd, 2016. Let's do this.
Engage.
Hold on, I gotta start that up.
It's the Jock and Nerd podcast with your hosts, Anthony and Imran.
Jock and Nerd. Hey, everyone. Welcome to the Jock and Nerd podcast. My name is Imran.
Hey, Anthony's not here.
Yeah, so what's your name?
Oh, I'm Roberto Bambino.
He's the Rug Boy.
That's right.
And who am I?
You're the nerd.
You're ruining the bit, Rugs. Okay, so
wait, how do you want to do this? We'll do it again. Let's do it one more time.
Okay, we'll do it again. Okay. Welcome to the Jock and Nerd podcast. We're live on Blab. My name is Imran.
And my name is Roberto.
He's the Rug Boy.
And he's the nerd.
Now, you may notice someone is missing, folks. And, well, the Jock is not here. Rugs, I'll give you 3 guesses where he is. Let's see if you get it.
Okay. He's at a club dancing to EDM and taking Molly. Jocktastic.
I think you got it. I don't know about the Molly. I don't know about the Molly part. That's unconfirmed. But what's confirmed is Anthony is at a EDM concert. So it's going to be the Nerd and Rug show. We're going to run the crap out of this, Rugs. I'm excited.
Isn't it sad that we know what he does, even when I don't know what he does? Like, it's just so predictable.
I didn't think you'd get it on the first guess. I was almost going to have a buzzer sound because I was like, there's no way. But yeah, he's the Jock and he's predictable. So
who cares? The Jock said that.
Yeah, what are you
but can I ask you a question? Because you know the Jock better than me.
All right.
Does he get laid a lot or what? What are we talking here? Do you hear stories? Like what? He never tells me any of this stuff.
Look, we barely hang out.
He's a gentleman, I think.
He is a gentleman, and he's not like that kind of dude. We only hang out and talk about comic book geek shit. We really haven't talked about anything other than that. But he is a gentleman. He's got a lot of friends, though.
Oh, okay. So I'm pretty much, if you don't talk about it, you're probably doing it.
Exactly.
People talk about it a lot, aren't really doing it that much.
Yes, that I think
either that or they're like amazed that they're doing it.
Or
they're like so proud of doing it that they have to tell someone. They're like, "Oh my God, someone touched my penis."
I can't, but no, I think you're correct because I think those who talk about that all the time, they're not getting nothing. That's the problem.
Yeah.
All right. When we always have this though.
Bro, do you even podcast?
So Anthony he's with us in spirit. Now, Rugs, are you okay out there? There's like a big snowmageddon, this storm Jonas.
On the East Coast?
Yeah, are you gonna be all right? You got supplies, you hunkered down? What's gonna happen?
I don't know if you noticed this, but I'm pretty short, so like if it snows at all, it's always a blizzard to me.
Yeah. Okay,
like if it's a foot of snow, like I can't walk. Like I can't go anywhere. So
dude,
it might be like under a foot. I'm thinking it's going to be under a foot.
That's enough for you. All right. Just take care, everyone out east. And hopefully you can hunker down and you watch the show with us.
Why do they scare the shit out of you about the snow? Doesn't it snow in Chicago like every 5 minutes?
Yeah, dude. It's not a big deal. But I did see it said 35 inches of snow in Pennsylvania. And I've never seen a snow report that said 35 inches in a day. They're talking like 3 inches an hour, whatever. Just, is it snowing out there? Do you even have a window? Have you seen it?
No, there's no snow yet. It's not going to snow till tomorrow.
They're scaring everyone. I'm disappointed. I was like, hashtag Jonas. They're hashtagging the storms.
My name is Jonas.
That's what you've shown us. All right, guys. Remember, check out jockandnerd.com/live for all our live blabs and a link to this show. And for new listeners, I'm going to do this.
Here's the rundown.
Here's what we're going to do in this show. We got a news segment. We're going to talk about the specials put on by Marvel and DC that were on earlier this week. We're going to talk about this week's new episodes of Supergirl, Flash, Arrow, the Agent Carter season premiere, and Legends of Tomorrow. And then I even have an email to go over, and a bunch of other cool stuff. But before we get to any of that, Ruggs, we got a little bit of show news. We got some thank yous and some shout outs.
That's right.
Well, I want to start with just saying thanks to everyone who came out to the podcast fan day on Blab that we did last week. It was lots of fun. You can check out the show. It's only on Blab. We made a lot of new friends, and hopefully we're going to see them tonight. Like Warren was subscribed, and Billy the Fridge, and Jordan was there, who's here now. That was so great. I can't thank you guys enough.
Yeah, we had a good time. We had a lot of good guests. A lot of cool people on, and I hope that we see them again tonight and get to shoot the shit with them.
Absolutely. I will embed that blab in the show notes for this episode. So make sure you check the show notes on jockandnerd.com to watch that. The second thank you now has to go out to the whole gang over there at Kermit and Friends and their news site. They've built a news community site. It's hilarious. And they wrote a pretty glowing review of our show.
Oh shit.
Yeah, they sound like they actually listen to the show, or somebody listens to it.
I put the link in the chat here, and I'll put the link in the show notes. I was concerned when he told me, hey, they wrote an article, because I completely thought that they were just going to rip us a new one, and I was like,
you know what? They build you up first before they rip you.
Oh,
so the ripping is coming. Okay. We just got to wait for it.
That's fine.
I don't know how it's going to happen. I mean, I'm getting attacked. I was just on there. Okay,
what happened? Did you go say thank you to them? If they're listening, I want to tell them thanks to DNN and Douche and Cedarman for that awesome review. It was fun to read, and let the ripping commence. Now, what's going on over there?
Well, what exactly? I went on there to try and tell them, hey, thanks. Thanks for the article. I was gonna thank Cedarman and all those people and Douche and whoever was involved with that.
Yeah,
but it just so happened that Benji tweeted out that Ryan Phillippe was going to be a guest on the show.
Shit. I think I saw that.
Oh, I think it was just a ploy to they lie about shit all the time.
No, but I followed the tweets. I think that's his Twitter account, and he wrote back, and I was like, oh shit, he's getting Phillippe on the show.
Well, if he is going to come on, he's probably going to come on the last 2 seconds of the show, because he hasn't been on at all. Okay. And they've just been teasing him, and he hasn't come on. But I was on there to try and thank everyone. And I was able to get it out. So I was able to get out, thanks Cedarman and Douche and Elisa and everybody at the Kermit and Friends for thinking about us. But, I mean, the minute I got on, the chat just lit up with, oh, here's this douchebag here to promote his stupid show again.
Oh,
you
shit.
Fucking sell out.
Oh, shit. They're fucking on to you, bro.
Yeah, I mean, look, we got about, probably 2 or 3 weeks before the heat starts to get turned on and they start fucking hating us big time. So
fucking bring it. I ain't afraid of you.
They build up just to rip me down over there sometimes. So let's see what happens.
I'm ready for the second shoe to drop, man. I whatever. Any press is good press. Let's do it. I'm all in.
The point is that whoever wrote it sounds like they do enjoy the show and they do listen.
Yeah. No, the guy did his research, and you could clearly tell he's watched some or part. And I appreciate it. I'm putting it out like it's a real story.
Look, think about this. Some asshole sat around for about 2 hours and wrote that article.
I know. And the hilarious thing is, if you the header of the site, it's called the Douche News Network Tribune. It's hilarious. I love what they do. So keep up the good work, guys. Bring on the trolling, whatever. I don't know. All right. One last thing before we move on. You guys may have heard of this thing called esports. Ruggs, you know about the esports?
It's people playing video games, for people who don't know what that is.
Yeah, competitive
video games for money, like tournaments and shit.
Yeah, leagues, and you got houses and players that get developed. Well, I'm a little bit fascinated with this topic. You should check out our last show, episode 72 at jockandnerd.com. We talk to Peter Kendall from How Do I Jump, and he kind of fills us in on esports. And we're not gamers, but it's kind of the perfect marriage of the jock and nerd as a subject, if you think about it.
In a way, but they haven't figured out a way to televise this shit yet. I love video games, but I mean, they have to figure out how to you can make, if you can shoot something and make it cool and make it compelling, then you can make anything compelling if you shoot it right, but it hasn't been done yet. It hasn't been done. I remember G4 used to have a show where they tried to do that, and it was kind of fun, but it wasn't quite there yet.
Jordan's been playing Life is Strange. I've heard about that. Well, if you in the show, Peter Kendall made a good point. He goes, they don't need TV. Twitch is their platform. And a lot like this, it's interactive, and there's tens of millions of viewers. Also, though, there's the news that like TBS is working on a Counter-Strike TV show for esports.
Yeah, but those ratings don't amount to jack shit, though.
Look, Mark Cuban, I just read Mark Cuban's investing in a company, an ex-NBA player is buying a team. It's on the rise. It's an interesting trend. We're just going to keep an eye on it, see what happens. Like, I don't want to play it, but I'm just really fascinated by this whole thing.
But the thing is, you could have 1 million people looking at you, but if you don't have a way to monetize it and make money off of it, like those people who play are never going to really make real money.
Yeah, I mean, the salaries and the prize caps are growing. They're sponsors. I mean, there are $1 million prizes. It's getting bigger every year. So, it's like in its maturity phase. Will it become mainstream? Will it be as big as regular sports? We'll see. Check out that show. But the reason I mentioned that show, hey, Selassie, what's up? Thanks for hanging out, is Peter Kendall and HD1 Jump are doing a charity event, and I wanted to plug their charity event real quick. It's called Painful Games Played Slowly 2016. They're going to go to an arcade. They're going to live stream this on Twitch. You can hang out. You could donate. And all they do is play really bad games. And it's happening out east in New Jersey, I believe in like Somerville and Red Bank. And it will be February 21st. I'll put a link to all this in the show notes, or you can go to hd1jump.com/PGDS or search hashtag PGDS 2016. If you're a gamer, if you're interested, it's they did it last year. They had a lot of fun. They raised a little bit of money, and so they're raising money for like a children's charity.
Okay,
it's to help kids on Twitch TV. Painful Games Played Slowly. How do I jump? hd1jump.com. Check it out. All right, we have so much fucking shit to talk about. Let's get into the news.
The Jock and Nerd Podcast.
All right, Ruggs, I'm going to start with one of your favorite characters here. You know who it is. The Merc with the mouth. None other than
Deadpool. I'm like, what the fuck is he going to say next?
Shit. Only because, look, there's been a lot of Deadpool things happening, and we've talked about, how do they know Deadpool? People are just onto the Deadpool. Have you heard about this petition? Everyone's talking about this fucking petition. I
think it's a lot of horse shit, by the way. I think that they're backpedaling.
Who is? Well, let's explain this petition. This Beyond the Trailer YouTube channel. They put out this petition by this woman at Grace Randolph, and she has a viewer named Christina who has an 8-year-old son named Matthew who wants to see Deadpool. And he wrote a list of items why, things like, because I like superheroes, he's funny, I clean my room, I did my homework. So they've started a petition for them, and I don't know what they think they're going to do, for them to cut an additional PG-13 version of this movie.
This is exactly what the fuck I was talking about.
This shit
is lame. Yeah, this character is marketed to little kids.
There's so many things wrong with this.
They somehow latched onto it because he's funny, but I mean, the other shit that he does is inappropriate. He's highly violent.
Yes.
I don't get it. I don't get where this is. Should not be for I see little kids liking Deadpool, and it doesn't make sense.
So forget about the fact, just for a second, that look, this is our first R-rated superhero that I've been dying to see. Forget about the fact that it would cost they would have to reshoot half of the movie to get this done. There's no fucking way they're gonna do this. Forget about the fact even that he wants a PG-13 movie when he is just 8.
Oh shit!
He still won't be able to actually go see the movie.
He can go with his mom.
Look, I don't want to attack the mom or the kid. She's trying to be a good mom. I get it. If you have a child, you want the kid to be happy. But where is the real parenting lesson? What happened to sometimes you don't get what you want, Johnny? Sometimes life's not fair. Forget about the fact that movie will be on DVD in 6 months and he could sneak off with his friends and go fucking watch it.
I guarantee this mother doesn't know what the fuck Deadpool is. Go to the comic book store and read a fucking issue of Deadpool, and you'll see it's not appropriate for your son, and he shouldn't be liking it in the first place.
Exactly.
And shame on Marvel for cramming Deadpool into Saturday morning cartoons. What they've done to Spider-Man is a crime.
Well, you're absolutely right.
Them down.
They have some blame also because it's confusing to the average viewer. It's confusing. You're like, oh, anything with Marvel, you assume, oh, it's going to be family friendly. Now, no, they don't realize that there's Fox and different studios. They see Marvel, they see a guy in a suit. They're like, oh, this is going to be like all those fucking movies. So I get it. It's confusing, but my point is, what happens to telling kids the fucking truth sometimes? How, like, the kid will be sad for an hour and he'll get over it. Who gives a fuck? Just move on with your life. Tell him to go watch Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2. It's ridiculous. I watched this video. You guys, if you want to watch this video, it will be in the show notes. I'm going to put a link in here. And literally, I watched this video. And man, I haven't gotten this like heated in a while. Like as the video got on, I was getting more and more upset. I was like, wow. What the? I was like, go fuck yourself with your PG-13 Deadpool. It's ridiculous.
Nah, I think that. Well, sometimes I think it's this is all a bait and switch. I think that they were coming out. So I never trust the movie studios. I never trust corporations. Yeah, I always think that there's a fucking agenda. I think that what happened is that popularity. It's been tracking. Deadpool's been tracking very well, and they're like, hey, we're not going to get enough eyeballs to see this. Let's spread it out. You know, there's an interest here. Let's see if we can make even more money off this movie. I told you 200 million, and I'm probably right. And this is why they're backing up. They're using this stupid little kid as a wag the dog situation.
You think it's gonna make 200 million?
No, I just think it's tracking really well.
It is tracking well. Yes,
the interest is there, and now they're like, hey, let's see if we can make monster money with this shit. So let's change the rating.
But then no.
I think that they had a PG-13 cut the whole time.
Really?
Yes.
Wait, do you think in the last minute they're going to swap it out?
Yeah.
No. Holy shit.
Money talks, Imran.
But I was so happy that Ryan Reynolds
we're talking about, not Marvel. This is Disney who owns Marvel now.
But this is Fox also. This is Fox's property technically.
Yeah, but I think
not Disney.
But I think that's the whole inclusion of everything.
God, I hope they don't cave. If they cave, I will be so upset, dude. You have no idea. They can't. No, Ryan Reynolds has come out. Did you see that tweet he wrote back to the person? Deadpool. Deadpool writes back, fuck you, the movie's R-rated and your mom's a whore. Sorry, kid. Like, that was something like what he tweeted back, which is perfect, Deadpool. Great. That's what you're in for. So you're right that the movie already, like Rob Liefeld said, it looks great, which of course he would, but it's had early screenings and everyone seems to love it. Ironically, it's been banned in China. Oh shit.
Why would they ban it in China? What's so bad? I mean, every Hong Kong action film has people being blown to bits all over the place. So what's the thing that they're banning it for?
It says here that so the Hollywood Reporter, their sources have told them that the violence, nudity, and graphic language contributed to China denying the film permission to release in their country. So it's the combination. God forbid they see a little boobie or a little dick. I don't get it.
There's penis in there, maybe. I don't know.
Probably. I mean, but that's not.
I'm sure it's not for female nudity. It's got to be for
somebody's ass. You think? I bet, or Ryan Reynolds' ass is in it. That's gonna hurt the sales of the box office ultimately. So maybe your thing about a PG-13 movie, this ties into that. They could save that by flipping it out now.
Yeah, if China, I think maybe that's damage control.
Maybe onto something.
Yeah, it's damage control. Yeah, I mean, because like there's. PG-13 is not something that you do like with your arm twisted. You want a PG-13 movie because it can get more eyeballs.
Ruggs, this is a moment for this.
My spider shits are tingling.
You just blew my mind, dude. If they switch it out, it's going to be so shady. Wow, that didn't even occur to me. It's interesting. Finally, just to wrap up this Deadpool conversation, did you see the Australian Day promo? I'll put that link in here.
No, I did not see it.
Okay. I'm going to play the audio. It's really short and it's hilarious. So basically the visual for the listener, Deadpool's just sitting in a living room on a sofa and he's got like an Australian sun hat with a wide brim and there's like marshmallows hanging from them. It's very weird, but here it is.
It's almost Australia Day. I mean, seriously, I'd fit right in with your proud nation, with its shady criminal past and its predilection for blackout drinking and unrelenting condescension toward New Zealand. Only one teeny problem. You gave us Wolverine. And for that, I can't forgive you. I've got no problems with Hugh. I mean, he's a delightful guy. He really is. True legend. But the movie, that was a career low for me. You understand. Anywho, why am I here? Oh, right. Happy Australia Day. Because that's a real thing. Throw another shrimp on the Barbie. I know you say that one too.
He grabs his hat.
Oh, shit, that's a hat. You guys wear this. I thought I was getting swarmed by fucking diddly Australian bees.
Dude, I love the marketing for this movie. That's like, but do you see how he's self-aware? He knows that Hugh played a Wolverine in the movie, but that he was in the movie also. I love this. It's very confusing, but it's great.
It's confusing to me too, but hey, fuck it, let's do it.
That's the point. All right,
the crowd needs an enema.
Where does he get those wonderful toys? Next bit of news I got here. We have official dates for Wonder Woman and Justice League Part 1. DC had a huge week this week, and we'll get into that moving forward. But we can expect Wonder Woman June 23rd, 2017, and Justice League Part 1 November 17th, 2017. And then Star Wars got shifted around, which ended up shifting around all these other movies.
Yeah, they're all playing chess with each other at this point.
So Star Wars, they moved. Why do you think that they did this? This kind of concerns me. They moved it from May 2017 to December 2017, giving them more time. I heard that, from what I can tell, that what I've been reading, they did this because they're rewriting some of the characters that people related to that were popular. I don't know if this is a good idea, though.
Well, look, I said this before when we did the review of Star Wars, is that the J.J. Abrams model is to fucking do whatever the fuck you want to please the fans, and then worry about how to explain it later. And now let's explain this shit later is falling onto this new guy who probably had a script, and now he has to fucking rewrite it because a lot of people have all these questions and all of these things that they've pointed out and all these things that they've already figured out. And now they got to try and figure out how to fucking, that's the whole thing. Lost came on, they figured it out in like the first week, everybody's dead. And then they had to like jerk you off for 3 or 4 years before they actually told you that the same thing. Everybody knows who everybody is. And the mystery's like been figured out because all super nerds have already thought this through 1,000 times and posted it on the web and this and that. So now they got to like go back to square one.
The internet is ruining everything. Look, this is why this makes me nervous, though, because look, the original trilogy, there was a vision. There was a definite, he knew where it was going to go, and he stuck to that. And then even the prequels, there was a story arc. There was a vision. There was these things set up that kind of continued. They're like chapters of inside chapters. Now, who's running the fucking ship with these 3 Star Wars movies? This is all over the place. So this kind of tells you that they don't know where they were going, or if they had a plan, they're just going to cave now and you know, fan service the people more. Which,
but Abrams is involved, so you know that the fan service, you know, is going to happen.
He's all about the fan service. What this did that did get me excited though is that it moves up. So a slot opened. And it moves up the Spider-Man reboot release date. Geek boner. I like that. It's coming out July 7th now, 2017, because they moved Pirates of the Caribbean. So all this shifting happened with all Disney's various properties and within properties. It's very interesting.
Is anybody clamoring for another Pirates movie?
No,
like, nobody cares about that.
Fucking 6th one, or I lost count. The first one
like
was
no one
great.
gives a fuck about this property anymore.
No one gives a fuck about Pirates of the Caribbean. And I'm also kind of thinking no one gives a fuck about Avatar. We've had this discussion where like the biggest movie ever, but it seems to have had no cultural impact. There's no hardcore Avatar fans. I only bring this up because news came out once Star Wars had moved to December. It was technically going to go up against Avatar 2. So James Cameron is working on the next 3 movies. So possibly he's working on Avatar 2, 3, 4, and maybe even a 5. Like he's going all out with this. But now he has said that he's moved Avatar away from that date. So that got pushed back.
Well, yeah, you don't want to. It's stupid. Well, that you have to do. You have too many people. He knows that it's going to pull away from his box office, so he's got to move it.
Yeah, that would have been a crazy battle, but there's no new date. So he's still working on these movies, man. This might take another 10 years to see any of these movies, but they're going to be crazy.
He better get cracking.
Dude, that's crazy. All right. We got a couple more things. Moving into comics, there's like some couple of crazy things that I just saw. DC is doing a complete relaunch again.
Oh, shit.
For the millionth time they've done this.
They're I don't know if it's a reboot. It's gonna be a hard renumbering. Number one. It's a fuck you to everything. This is really bad. It's a number one in June, and what they're doing is they're gonna focus on all their movie properties, bringing them in line with their comic books.
A bad idea.
Very bad idea. Nope, dude. DC's sales are down for the first time in years. I've been reading articles from comic book retailers, and they're like, all sales are down, but DC sales are so down. Everyone's out. I'm only reading 2 titles. It's a mess.
The general big audience for comics are big old guys like us, like old fucks, and maybe guys that are starting their 30s.
Yeah.
That's the biggest demographic of people who buy comics. And we've already read all the best superhero stories that there is.
It's true.
And they can't, and what they're doing is they're just giving everybody the finger with these resets and this the continuity's all fucked up. So everything that we grew up reading is now like thrown in the garbage.
Pretty much, and now they're just catering to all the new fans and all people who are watching these movies, and maybe they want to read a comic book, but they don't want to start at issue 673 of Detective Comics because it's a little daunting. I mean, I can kind of understand, but they just
it never works.
No, DC is notorious. They just did this 5 years ago.
How many times are they going to reset and not get any fans?
Yeah.
Like they've reset and not got new fans, so they just should stop it.
Yeah. So, but
I would love to talk to somebody from. I would like to talk to Dan Dildo and see what he's thinking.
Dan Dildo, and Marvel is also, they've done similar things, but they do it a little bit better, and we'll talk about that when we talk about the specials. It's a little more organic, but this is unbelievable. That again, they're rebooting everything. So also, like I said, I only read a couple books, one being Batman, written by Scott Snyder, and it's been a great run. He's been on it for 5 years. He is leaving Batman, and he's going to go over to Detective Comics. So we'll see how.
So he's still on Batman.
He's still on Batman, but it's going to be interesting to see if it affects sales, because Batman sells really good. Detective does not sell so good, but he's still on Batman. I think he gets to try different things, and he doesn't have to work on because he's doing these large story arcs on Batman, and it'd be cool if he did some smaller stuff and more street level crime stuff on Detective. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
We'll see.
All right, gang, we have so many TV shows to talk about. Let's get to it.
Doc and Nerd.
Doc and Nerd. I'm going to hit this, even though
spoiler alert.
This first part, we're going to talk about the specials. Hey, Sasuke Yusuf, how you doing? She says hi in the chat. Thanks for hanging out. You caught these specials, Ruggs? There was 2 specials put on by Marvel and DC, respectively, on the same.
I saw the Captain America one almost in its entirety.
Okay.
And then I fell asleep to the DC one.
Yeah, okay. Well, let's start there. On Tuesday night, dude, this Tuesday night, there was like 5 hours of superhero programming on television. It was Geek Boner all over the place. Marvel put on this special, hour-long special called Marvel's Captain America, 75 Heroic Years. It was, now all these specials, they're kind of these fluff promo pieces, right? Ruggs, we kind of know that they're, Marvel has Captain America Civil War coming out. So they had to come out and be like, hey, here's why Iron Man and Captain America are fighting. But I really enjoyed this special. It was produced really well, really slick, like way better than any fluff piece should be. I thought it was really good.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. I mean, if you're don't know anything about Captain America, or if you have an interest in it and you want to know about the history, it's pretty good. I mean, it gives you the overview, and of course it doesn't cover everything, and there's a lot left out, but it generally gives you a good idea. It's a good thing to have to show to your kid if you want to get him into Captain America or one of your friends.
Yeah. Welcome to Jock and Nerd, everyone. This is thanks, Jordan, for handing out the welcomes. Jordan's awesome. What I liked about this is they talked a lot about Jack Kirby and Joe Simon, and I think everyone should know about Jack Kirby. That's very important. I didn't know that Captain America in the 40s was the issues were selling like 1 million copies. When it came out. That is insane. Like, they don't sell that today.
During the war, they sold a lot, and there was no TV, no video games, no internet porn. So people were just buying Captain America comics.
Sasuke Yusuf says she watches only Flash and Arrow. Well, stick around because we're going to talk about those episodes that happened this week. I thought it was interesting how every time there's a war, Captain America gets popular again. Did you notice that?
People rally behind the Cap.
Yeah, but he reacts to the world. Like, Watergate was the start of Cap versus the government storylines that have stuck around. And from World War II to Vietnam to 9/11, Cap's popularity has risen with each of those. Like, it's very interesting that because like they said in the show, you always know what he's going to do. He's like a straight arrow, and you want to see how he reacts to the world changing around him.
That's true. That's what makes him interesting. He's a fish out of water. He's a guy that no longer exists. The kind of guy that he is. They went away a long time ago after the war, and he's still around, and he still thinks the same way. He still has the same beliefs. Yeah,
it was great. You heard from Chris Evans and the old creators. Very good special, Marvel. Good job. Now, we're just talking about how DC is making their comics in line with the movies. Look, Marvel does this too. You may or may not know, currently in the comic books, Steve Rogers is not Captain America. He's been drained of his super soldier serum. He's an old man, and the Falcon has taken up the mantle. He's Falcon America. That's not his name. I just like to call him that.
Yeah.
Falcon America. But here's what they're doing this spring, just in time for Captain America Civil War. Steve Rogers is returning to Captain America.
Oh, shit.
There will be 2 series. There will be a series that says Captain America, Sam Wilson, and then there's another title, Captain America, Steve Rogers. That's not confusing, right?
No.
Yeah, they're both. Sure. They're Captains of America. That's all.
Yeah.
All right. So they're Captains Americas. What's the right way? Is it Captain Americas or Captains Americas?
The second.
Okay. Hey, everyone. Thanks for checking out the Jock and Nerd podcast. What I forgot to mention is after we do our show, we are going to open it up to the blabbers and geek out with whatever you guys want. So stick around, hang out, pop in, pop out. But we're going to open it up and geek out with you guys. So the same night over on the CW network, they had 2 half-hour specials.
Dun, dun, dun.
The first one was DC's Legends of Tomorrow, Their Time Is Now special, which was kind of pointless clip recap show.
Yeah.
Good for new viewers. And I mean, some of the stuff, it was a good recap. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot that happened. But it was all pretty.
Yeah, but who's really watching this?
I don't know.
No one's tuning in for that.
Right. It was kind of pointless. And what it made me realize, though, is that I've been poo-pooing DC's strategy of having shows on all different networks and like it's not in the same place and it's different universes. But if you think about it, right now DC has a superhero show on Monday through Thursday.
This is true.
Right? Now, if you count all the shows and the new shows coming out, which are Lucifer, which is Vertigo, which is DC, Preacher, which is Vertigo, which is DC. DC has 8 shows on 4 different networks.
Oh, shit.
Their domination is a plan is maybe it's kind of smart after all.
Yeah, but they're going to burn the shit out of all, like they're gonna like wear this out. They're wearing everybody out. Like we can't even keep up with this shit.
No, dude, there was so much. All week long, there's fucking DC shows. Ruggs, Lucifer is premiering Monday, the 25th. This Monday, are we watching it? Are you watching it?
I have no interest in it at all.
Jordan's right. The shows have to be decent, and amongst these shows are various levels of quality and goodness, good geekiness. So,
like, I'm not interested in Lucifer one bit.
No,
I mean, I never read a Lucifer comic. Why would I watch a Lucifer show?
Well,
I watched Preacher. I watched Constantine, even though it wasn't the greatest show. I watched it because I like Constantine.
I like Lucifer. I just like the idea of like the devil being your protagonist. That's kind of interesting. Like, how are they gonna do that?
I mean, I'll give it a whirl, but I mean, I don't know.
Okay, that was that special. The next special, however, was very geek boner all over the place. This was DC Films. They're calling themselves DC Films Presents Dawn of the Justice League. This was the name of the special, hosted by the geek godfather Kevin Smith and Jeff Johns, who is like CEO of DC Comics and an awesome writer and has rebooted everything. What did you think of this special, Ruggs?
Well, I tuned in to see the Wonder Woman trailer.
Well, it wasn't a trailer; it was footage, and I was kind of impressed with the footage.
Could you see it? It was in the dark. Okay, I mean, it was like what the fuck is this? Like it was lit so dark. Did they do it on purpose? Are they trying to like disguise the footage or something?
I don't know. I may have adjusted the brightness on my computer or my TV for a second. Look, it looked like it was shot through a fucking muddy lens a little bit. It was very desaturated, in line with the color palette of all these fucking Warner Brothers DC movies. But her fighting against the World War I guy in slow-mo was kind of cool. And her on a horseback with a sword, that was kind of badass.
Okay, but I don't know. I feel like she's kind of like not Wonder Woman. I just don't feel like she really embodied. I mean, I love Gal Gadot. She's sexy.
Yeah, she looks. Hot, she looks great.
But I don't know. I just don't feel the power. I don't feel the command.
The presence. You know? She needs a little more presence.
The presence. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
And they don't show her talking at all in any of these clips, by the way.
Yeah. So they interviewed her and she has like a heavy like Israeli accent, is it? So it's gonna be interesting to see. You're right. We have yet to see her utter many words as
it's gonna throw everybody off when they start hearing her talking and she sounds like a rabbi or something.
She'd be like, "Oi, Batman, why do you have to with the batarang all the time?"
No, I mean her accent's like Eastern European.
I can't do the Israeli. It's
Borat. I mean, it's Israeli, but it's like it could pass for Eastern European. It could pass.
That's true.
For a Greek accent, if you're in a pinch.
So she comes from the country of Themyscira or whatever. So that's what they sound like there. Well, that's all we know.
Isn't Themyscira where would that be located? Would that be like where somewhere in the because aren't the Amazons kind of like near Thrace and all of those ancient Greek colonies that were in actually where Turkey is?
Yeah, I always imagined it in the Mediterranean somewhere.
Yeah,
an island, a lost
like where Turkey or Istanbul is or whatever.
Not Constantinople. So the Wonder Woman should look good. I love this special because look, I love Kevin Smith. I'm a big Kevin Smith fan, and much like Kevin Smith, like I talk with my hands, and he talks with his hands, and I thought that he was gonna poke Jeff Johns in the eye at some point. I was waiting for that. It was hilarious. But I knew it that both of these specials, I was like, look, they have to explain why these fucking superheroes are fighting each other this summer because people are just.
Did they?
Well, look, in the Captain America one, they did it better. They kind of explained the setup between Captain America and Iron Man. In this one, Kevin Smith just asked Jeff Johns. He's like, "All right, buddy, why are Batman and Superman fighting? Explain it to the people." Like he just came out and asked him, and he had to go.
What did he say?
He just had to explain. He explained what we knew, like. Superman's an alien and Bruce's building was hurt and damaged. He doesn't trust them and Lex is playing both of them and blah, blah, blah. And then they went and they explained all of the Justice League and all their parts. And you got to see a little bit of Ezra Miller and some concept art. But it's just funny. They have to explain this shit. They have to explain this shit to people. Why is everybody fighting now? The best also, I like he said Green Lanterns are coming. This is what I like. This is what they should do. They have a little bit of potential here because he basically broke it down. He's like, you have an alien, you have a god, you have an underwater guy, you got a speedster time traveling guy, you got a tech guy, and then we need a space guy. And he said there will be Green Lantern movies. And I was like, geek boner. That's cool. Now, this is a lot like the new 52 Justice League. It's not a bad play. I like the setup of these 7. And then you have just fucking Bruce Wayne, who's human amongst all these crazy people. Now, if they could somehow make this float, but this movie has so many things going on in it, I don't know By the end of it, we're supposedly going to see all of them or something. Batman versus
Superman. Well, I mean, that's not a far stretch. I mean, it could be just a 1-second cameo.
You know what the problem is also? I was reading, somebody made a good point. The title of the movie is Batman versus Superman, Dawn of Justice. That's like 2 movie ideas squished together. Like, I wish he just focused on one. He could have made a Batman versus Superman and then like a separate Dawn. Like, it's 2 movies. It's too much.
Yeah.
Right? It's too much.
Jock versus Nerd, Dawn of Stupidity.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, shit.
Coming this summer, Jock versus Nerd. So the big cool shit, though, was the new Suicide Squad trailer.
Geek boner.
I watched this a bunch of times, Ruggs. How many times did you?
Did you like it? I think it took a lot of the mystery out of it, of everything.
Here's what I liked about it. I love the music they used. I love the way it was cut. It was cut very well. Very good use of the Bohemian Rhapsody song, because that song is kind of like the team. Like, it's melodic and then it gets crazy. And the team is kind of like quiet, and then the movie will just get insane. I like that. I like seeing that there's going to be magic in this movie a little bit. There's El Diablo shooting fire. Enchantress has some magic-y things. I'm a big Katana fan. We got to see her soul sword, and she's going to be sucking up some souls. I'm still not sold on Jared Leto, maybe. I don't know.
Or Harley Quinn. She looks great, but I feel like that, I would have liked to see a little bit of a New York accent in there.
Yeah, she has none of that. She's playing it straight. She is a little, people like the comedy in those lines, and they were okay lines.
Arlene Sorkin is the voice of Harley Quinn. She is.
Yeah. And she's got the thick New York accent.
Yeah.
I think Leto is still coming off as trying too hard for this. The fact that it says damage tattooed on his forehead is a little douchebaggy.
Listen, we saw the photos and we knew it was going to be stupid.
But I didn't think it would actually be on him. I thought it was just for the photo. I was hoping.
You're wrong. You're always wrong when it comes to this stuff. You're always optimistic, and you can't be optimistic in this world we live in, because it's bullshit's everywhere.
Bullshit's everywhere. I like that they had Jared Leto in the tuxedo with the white carnation, kind of homage to the classic Alex Ross illustration of Joker and Harley Quinn. There's some Easter eggs. It's got me a little more excited for the movie. I like that it's not all the Will Smith show. I was afraid of that.
Yeah. I mean, look, I'm going to watch it.
Right?
I'll be there. It's just like, how do I feel about it? Do I feel confident in this? Like, when's the last time you went into a movie feeling confident it was going to rock your world? I mean, you never know.
I feel like this movie is like Guardians of the Galaxy for them. It's a big gamble. Like, even the trailer is cut similar to the Guardians trailer with like 70s rock music. And it's a bunch of misfits coming together as a team. Like, it's almost the same thing. But I'll tell you what really excited me is before that came out, did you see these posters?
Yeah.
The Suicide Squad posters are awesome.
The graphic posters. Yeah.
Yeah. They're I put a link in the show notes there, and there'll be images in the show notes and a link in the chat. They're these garish, bright green neon background with skull illustrations that are modeled after all the characters. And then there's one with them in kind of the same color palette. I love this campaign for Suicide Squad. These posters are rock. Like, they're so good.
Yeah, I see it. It's cool.
Right? Now, just compare that to like the Batman versus Superman promo art that's all like desaturated and broody and fucking grimy also. Like, it's very refreshing to see this for Suicide Squad, which kind of gives me a little bit more hope and excitement for this movie. Yeah, it's great.
Well, the villains in Batman are the color, and Batman's always very somber and very dark. So
that's a good point.
It's par for the course.
Speaking of villains, who do you think the villain is in this movie? Is it Enchantress? Is it the Joker?
I think it's the Joker. I think the Joker is this guy. Look, there's no real Trump is the
real
enemy.
TLM says Trump is the villain. Well, yeah, he's the villain in IRL.
Yeah,
Trump is Joker. By the way, Heath Ledger died 8 years ago today.
On this day?
On this day.
Oh, well.
The best.
Rest in peace, my friend.
Rest in peace.
You did a good performance.
The best fucking Joker we've had. And we'll see what Jared does with it. But
I think Jared's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen shittier Jokers, you know, but you know,
it's a different take. It's definitely a different, fresh, new take. So.
Like that guy on Gotham, I fucking hated him.
Yeah. Wait.
I mean,
the Cameron, the redhead. He's not the Joker. He's dead. And it's
I hated that whole thing. I hated that with a passion.
He's Real TLN says, I think Luke Skywalker Joker rocked. Well, Mark Hamill, also one of the best Jokers, audioly, definitely.
Well, that only works on the cartoon. That would never work in real life.
It's a little too over the top if you did that in real life.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be? Okay. And then I just wanted to mention a little Walking Dead and Batman vs Superman crossover. This was a shout out to Kevin and Chris from 365 who brought this to my attention. We already know that Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who's playing Negan on Walking Dead, he's playing Thomas Wayne in the flashback of, Batman's origin in Batman vs Superman. Lauren Cohen, who plays Maggie on The Walking Dead, is playing Martha Wayne in Batman vs Superman. So a lot of crazy connections there. Good comic book connections.
That's pretty dope.
Right? Okay, gang. Let's get to this week's TV shows.
The Jock and Nerd Podcast.
Okay, now here's the real spoiler alerts.
Prepare to be spoiled.
I hope you guys have watched all the comic book superhero shows because we're going to spoil the crap out of them right now. Now, Ruggs, we're going to start with Supergirl. We're just going to go like chronologically through the week. Have you caught up? Because we have a little catch up to do because we missed
I've been watching it.
Okay, we missed when last we talked on a Jock and Nerd Weekly, we missed a couple of episodes. So let's go back to episode 8. Episode 8 and 9 were kind of like this 2-part arc dealing with Astra and the Kryptonians and that whole situation. In the meantime, Kat got hacked with her email, and then she was on to Kara being Supergirl for a second.
Yes.
And this is what I kind of like how they did this, because I was like, she's going to have to do the slapsticky shit running around trying to pretend like it's not her, it's her. But they nipped this in the bud. How did you think about how they handled this?
They got the Martian Manhandler to come in and pretend to be Kara.
The Marshmallow Man Muffler. The Marshmallow Muffler Hunter came in. And
they got Jeff Johns to come in.
They got John Jeff Jones to come in and be Kara standing next to her in front of Kat. And it was kind of funny because I was like, okay, like your logical mind says these are two separate people, but just fucking look at them. It's the same person. What's the matter with you?
Now it's like even more evident. They're standing next to each other. They look exactly like.
You guys are, you gotta be the same person.
Jeff Johns should have like made their hair like a little different, or like maybe your lips a little bigger, just to like fuck with them.
That's the thing. He could morph into anything. So maybe that would have been even better.
Yeah, if he could have just made her nose a little smaller, whatever,
something.
Just to like throw her off.
The identical person. That's not me. She's right here. But why I like this is because that episode, Hank Henshaw is kidnapped by the Kryptonians and Non, and he doesn't change, and very quickly she finds out Hank is Martian Manhunter, and then right as I'm like, okay, this is great, now go get rid of this Cat Grant thing, they do it. They like actually I think some people didn't like that, but I was really happy that, she may still be onto her a little bit. We don't know yet.
Well, if the cat gets out of the bag that Jeff Johns is really a shapeshifter, John Jones or whatever.
John Jones.
What's his name?
His name is John Jones. But
no, the guy that he is pretending.
Hank Henshaw.
Yeah. So if she finds out that Hank Henshaw, everybody has the same letter in their name.
I know. There's a whole lot of. They do that. Lois Lane. Clark Kent has C sounds, that's not, but DC does that a lot, you'll notice. Yeah, it's very interesting.
Well, whatever. If the cat gets out of the bag that he's some kind of shapeshifter, then she's gonna suspect that she was bamboozled.
Yeah, so I like how they're using Marsh Manhunter. So that was episode 8, Hostile Takeover, episode 9, Blood Bonds, which brings us to this week's episode 10, season 1, Childish Things, which dealt with Wynn's father, who is the Toy Man. Now, this was kind of a villain of the week episode, in the sense that Toy Man escapes and he's caught by the end of the episode. Wraps up a little nice, neat, and a nice little bow. Nice little package.
But it opens the door for two things.
Yes.
Number one, you get Martian Manhunter once again going in and fucking with Maxwell Lord, and now letting the cat out of the bag that there's another alien because he's got him on video.
Oh, well, he doesn't know who that is, so he saw him phase through the door on the video, but as himself, but he's not sure, but he doesn't know who that is yet, but he'll figure it out.
Yeah. And then another thing is that Henshaw had to like do something bad to that guy, mind wipe him.
That was fucking great, dude. So he mind wipes the guy, and this dude is fucked up. Like, instead of just mind wiping the incident, he doesn't remember his baby, his family, who he is.
Yeah, he did a front to back and a back to front wipe.
Oh, he frontal lobotomied that dude, and I was like, damn, that's a strong power. And he felt bad about it, and he's like, fuck, I shouldn't have done that. I loved how they were training in the beginning a little bit. Seeing them flying together, that gave me a little geek boner.
Yeah, I don't know about the training. They were just like,
that was lame training.
Put your arms up.
Yeah,
like, they didn't even say anything. They were just flying with each other, like, you know, very, very happily.
Like I love Toyman's fucking ninja deadly yo-yos. I want that. Where can I buy those? I've always wanted killer yo-yos. I don't know why.
And then there's the biggest thing that happened in the episode.
Yes.
Was that Wynn tried to give Kara the old French kissy kiss.
He tried to fappen Supergirl there. And he did. He tells her he loves her. I like how he's like, look, I'm afraid I'm going to snap. I'm afraid, because he explains his dad just snapped one day, went crazy. And Toyman is a character in the comic books. In fact, that doll looks like one version of Toyman from like the 70s comic books. That would be good. Real TLN said she would have sucked his intestines through his mouth.
Well, she wants to suck on the other guys.
I don't see. This is what I don't like, is this fucking love triangle. Like, Wynn is into Kara is into James is with Lucy Lane. But yeah, you can't make out with Supergirl. She'll suck a hole through your head if she's not careful.
Well, if you look at the fappening videos, there's actual no, there's fappening pictures. There's actually photographs of this documented.
Wait, there's videos? No, there's just photos.
No,
yes,
if there was videos, that's it. Game over.
I'm not going to tell you.
No, I mean, like, I don't know. I mean, Clark Kent hooks up with Lois Lane, so why can't she have a boyfriend that's a normal guy?
Yeah, except he's got a dark side. You know, I'll tell you, Supergirl, the last couple of episodes to me have been the least like groan-inducing eye rolling. There's still one or two things, but it's getting less. I don't know if the show is growing on me.
We're just getting used to the stupidity.
I'm getting used to it. She makes a great Supergirl, really. Honestly, though, Ruggs, this whole week has kind of started to turn me on DC a little bit. I was kind of getting excited about some of their shit. Like, they had a huge push. It was like hashtag DC Week. All the shit that we're talking about came out. And it got me a little bit excited for some of their stuff. I still think BVS is not going to work. So, all right. Anything else about Supergirl, Ruggs?
No, I mean, as I said, it's plugging along. It's chugging along. It's doing its thing. It's not the worst show. It's not the best show. It's there. And, you know, it's aware of itself. It's making, it's kind of like steering the ship in a good direction, and they're getting a little bit more streamlined as they go.
Yeah,
there's not as much baggage.
Yes, maybe that's what it is. And we can look forward to more, because it's the Berlanti universe. They love to pull from the comic books. We can look forward to more characters like Bizarro and some other characters from the books to show up. So, all right, I watched this far. I might as well watch the rest of it. All right, guys, we're going to go to the next show. Talking Nerd. Agent Carter came back this week, season 2, with 2 episodes. They played the first 2 episodes of this series, and I like this show. Ruggs, what do you think?
Yeah.
No?
That's all right.
This show is very interesting. I've always found it interesting that fans of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., it like divides them. Like half of them hate this show and half of them like get it, love it.
Like, I mean, I understand what they're trying to do, but it just doesn't work for me. It doesn't really work.
This is really funny. I was gonna save this email for the end of the show, but it relates to this. I gotta read it. We got an email at the old email. If you guys want to contact us, it's show@jockandnerd.com. Com. We have an email from one Anthony Clegg. This is what he says. He says, I love Flash. I love Arrow. I love Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I love all the Marvel films that have been released so far, even The Incredible Hulk. So my question is, why is Agent Carter so shit? It's the cheesiest, worst written program on TV. P.S. I like her boobs. And then he signs it Tortuga. Now, I think... I don't think it's the cheesiest, worst written program on TV. I will give that title to Supergirl.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
I agree with the PS. I like her boobs. Haley Atwell is amazing on this show. And the girl playing Dottie, I like her as a brunette. I don't know.
Well, the girl playing Dottie is, what's her name? Bridget Regan, who was on Legend of the Seeker and was actually really awesome on that show. I mean, her acting's not the greatest, but she's a tall... a lot of people were using her as a Wonder Woman inspiration
because
there was a big campaign to get her to be Wonder Woman at one point, because when she was playing the character on Legend of the Seeker, she had dark black hair and she has these light eyes and fair skin.
Yeah.
And she has the Wonder Woman build. She's got she's gotten really skinny after she had a kid.
Okay.
But before that, she was a little bit more substantial. But yeah, she's a nerd geek favorite
so in last season, Agent Carter, she gets away at the end and she was blonde. And then when she came back, I was like, wait, is that Dottie? She's very striking. You're right. I love it. She's tall. I like her presence. She's kind of sexy spy thing going on. I like that. But so there's two storylines going on. Agent Carter goes to Hollywood and Jarvis is there. And man, for me, Jarvis gets the best lines. He steals every scene he's in. He's hilarious. He had some great lines.
I do like the show, but it's just something's not working for me.
What is your so do you think he says it's I don't think it's utter shit. I enjoy the period piece of it. I kind of enjoy the spy aspect of it.
I have to say I think that and you're gonna kill me for this, is I think Haley Atwell just doesn't, I don't believe her as a spy. I believe her as being a woman trying to do a job, but I don't believe her as an ass kicker. I don't believe her as someone like Jarvis at one point says, "What do you do in your spare time? Assemble shotguns or rifles?"
Yeah. He goes, assemble. What do you do to her? He goes, "What do you do to her?"
And I'm like, I would never think to say that to her. She doesn't. First of all, she's English. She comes off all proper and stuff.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem like she I know they're trying to make her seem like she gets down and dirty and doesn't want.
It started with a pretty cool fight scene between Peggy and Dottie, and
the stunt women. Yeah.
It was the stunt woman. But so you don't buy her as this tough spy thing.
I don't buy her as I don't know. I just don't buy it. I can't believe it. I watched Rogue Nation with the Tom Cruise movie, the Mission Impossible. Yeah. They had an English woman there that looked like she could just do some damage. Whatever, she sold it to me. You have to sell it. Even when I watch Nikita, Maggie Q, she can hold a gun. She can do the moves, and she's convincing. Agent Carter, this woman is an English actress that did plays in Broadway. Doing karate in action it's not cast.
A Roundsville says in the chat that it's shot it's relocated to California. It is shot beautifully, and it looks great. Man, I guess I kind of see what you're saying. I enjoy her though. She's very charming to watch. The two of them, her and Jarvis, are great together. I like how they're introducing this dark, gooey thing.
Yeah, but they shouldn't write her as this
dark force.
They shouldn't write her as this character. They should write her as another character and saddle her with somebody that's more convincing in that other strong arm role. But they're trying to shoehorn this thing that she's a woman that could do everything, and I don't believe it. I'm sorry, I just don't believe it.
I mean, it's kind of like a detective show, noir show, right? For this season. And there's a lot they do. I guess some of the when they talk about the racism and sexism in the 40s, some of it is a little much.
Yeah, it's heavy-handed.
It's a little heavy-handed. I like this mystery aspect though of this lady in the lake and it's kind of like supernatural with she's got this freezing energy that just freezes things around her. This is this dark force that's related to what we saw in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. with that character Blackout, and it's also going to tie into Doctor Strange and when his movie comes out. So I like that.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's very well produced, very well directed.
Yeah.
The story's moving in a cool direction. We want to know what happens. We want to know, what's going to happen, especially with the girl that's back, Dottie, back in the city.
Yeah. So like while Peggy's in California trying to figure out this freezing, like the lake freezes over in the middle of the day in the summer, which is weird. So while they're trying to figure this mystery out, there's something that ties Dottie back to it, right?
Yeah, there's the lapel pin.
Lapel pin. She finds, yes.
Yeah, okay. So basically, we know that there's some shadow organization. We know from the symbol that it's going to be Hydra, because it's that same symbol that's on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Remember that weird thing that looks like an A? Yeah, they, that one that Fitz and whatever Simmons was looking up.
Oh, that's right, and that's connected to the secret council.
Yeah, so that's the secret fucking Illuminati, council, the one, the evil Illuminati that they have over there.
So again, on this one, they're kind of like trying to shoehorn this romance with the scientist, Wilkes, that dude who's flirting with her.
Yeah, like she wants to be with the guy who limps.
But then this is the same thing. He wants to be with her. She wants to be with Sousa. Sousa's got a girlfriend he's going to propose to. I hate this stuff. Why do they do this? It's the same shit as the fucking Supergirl triangle.
Yeah, they have to do it. I don't know why. The writers, that's what they do. They just they have a hat and they have like plot lines and they just pull a plot. We're going to do that one.
And you know what? When we talk about these shows week by week, like every week there's similarities that run through all the shows, whether they do it knowingly or not. It's really weird. But at the end of the second episode, Wilkes is going to grab the black goo and the Chadwick's wife shows up and the thing drops and there's like an explosion and they're gone. I think he's going to have powers when he's not dead.
No, they got to bring him back. They can't kill off the black guy. That's just wrong.
Yeah.
They never ever kill off the black guy.
No. I think he's gonna come back and he's gonna have some kind of weird powers, or he'll be like Freezy. But it got me. I'm in for the ride.
I'm watching it begrudgingly, but I'm watching it. I hate the dresses that they put her in. They're just such the Hausfrau dresses. Like, I know it's supposed to be the 50s, but like I watch Masters of Sex.
Yeah.
And you see
they could sex it up a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, even though it was 1947 Los Angeles, there was some fucking deviant pervert shit going on somewhere. Let's see some of that. The redhead has a great wardrobe, A. Ronsville said.
Who's there? The girl? Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. We got to see Jarvis's wife.
That's Mrs. Jarvis.
Mrs. Jarvis was kind of funny. Jarvis was doing like a power snatch. Did you see that at the beginning of like the second episode? He's like lifting weights and he's chasing out Jarvis. Jarvis made me giggle. So,
yeah, I mean, you'd think in California that she'd be dressed a little bit less,
like a nice sundresser with a nice hat,
or whatever. I guess it's the pre-50s and everybody's uptight.
Wilkes was smooth though. I liked his game where he's like, "Look, I'll meet me here," and it's like at a bar. And then he's like, "Hey, you want to dance first? I can talk and dance at the same time." And he's getting her a drink. I was like, "Dude, you're smooth. He was smooth."
He was putting on the Lando moves.
He was putting on the Lando Calrissian moves. All right. So it's funny you say that because the ratings came out and they said that ratings were down. Or Agents of
saggy ratings,
saggy boobs. But listen, that night there was 5 hours of television on, so people may have watched it. I didn't watch it live. I watched it on the DVR. There was too much to watch, so I feel like people made the choice to watch the DC stuff and maybe went back to DVR, the Agent Carter. But I love all of it, of course.
Gotcha. Like, you know what the funny thing is? Like, if you want to just cast any woman into any of these roles, you just get Lucy Lawless from like 1995.
Fuck yeah, dude, she's great.
And then she would own everything.
She is great in Ash versus the Evil Dead. Are you watching that at all? It's so
no, I want to. I have to watch it. I have to start watching it.
It's amazing. A. Ronswell said he watched it live while tweeting the writers. That's a lot of fun on the Twitter these days, because that's what I like that DC was doing this week. Their cast, their writers, they were also pushing. You can watch the show and you can interact with them. That's pretty fucking cool.
Okay.
All right, gang. Let's move on to the next show.
The Jock and Nerd Podcast. Jock and Nerd.
All right, we are entering firmly into a Greg Berlanti-verse on the CW with a string of shows. We're going to start with this week's The Flash.
Yay!
Season 2, episode 10. Oh, I don't have the title here. I forgot what it was. I didn't write it down. Anyways, what'd you think of this show, Ruggs? It was I was excited for it to come back. The show overall to me was okay.
Yeah. Still more of the same, okay? Things that happened. The major thing that happened is Patty Spivot is now getting the fuck out.
Yeah, well, yeah. So,
or we're led to believe.
We're led to believe. Like, so there's Barry's about to tell her. Everyone's like, you should tell Patty. Tell Patty. And he's about to tell her because he's missing things. And she's like, dude, what's up? We got to get past having fun. And before he can tell her, she's like, I'm moving to Midway City to go to school there. Midway City, by the way, it's where the Suicide Squad takes place.
Whoa.
What about the Suicide Squad? So that's a nice little Easter egg. Yeah, she's moving. And the other story is we meet this villain called the Turtle, which is also from the comic books.
I like turtles.
Turtles. This dude, he's kind of a schlubby dude who has the power to slow time down around him. Which in turn traps Barry when he's trying to run. And then he's got to like pulse and like put out extra force to stop him.
Yes.
And also we find out Wally West is in the beginning, he's a little bit of a dick. And and I was like, oh, he's up to something. And what's he up to, Ruggs?
He's up to Grand Theft Auto. No, he's up to he's racing cars.
Oh shit! He's fast and furiousing all over. And he's from Keystone City, which is home of some other DC superhero. I forget.
He's doing the whole thing, racing the cars. He's fast on wheels.
So they're setting up this thing that Wally West likes speed. I wonder where that's going to
need for speed. Yes.
I like Barry having nightmares of Zoom in the beginning, which is all what kind of set off. Should I tell her? Because he was dreaming of Zoom killing Patty, and Wells is like, dude, don't do it, because he's going to come and kill her. And everyone else is like, oh, you should tell her. You love her. Let her in.
And we also find out something else from this episode. We find out a lot of things.
Yeah.
We find out that Jay Garrick is dying because he lost the Speed Force.
Yes. Hey, guys, coming into the room. Thanks for checking us out. This is the Jock and Nerd Podcast. We are talking about this week's episode of The Flash. And I thought that was interesting. That's why he's dying, because he doesn't have the Speed Force. Like, they're talking like he's ill, like he has cancer or something. Hey, Crystal, how's it going?
Crystal.
But Caitlin needs to help him get his Speed Force back somehow.
I don't know how they're going to do that. I mean, I assume what's going to happen is when this whole Zoom thing kind of figures itself out, Jay Garrick's going to get his powers back, and Wally West is going to get the speed. They're going to suck Zoom speed out.
That may be how everybody gets their shit back, by stealing it from Zoom. Okay.
And then the Reverse Flash comes and he'll take the place of Zoom.
Ooh, that's possible. That's interesting.
Or maybe they keep Zoom and they get rid of the Reverse Flash.
Caitlin will become Killer. We're going to see Caitlin as Killer Frost in Earth 2. So the end of this was kind of interesting, where they capture the turtle and they put him in the fucking their pipeline where nobody knows where they poop or how they eat or where they sleep. It's just
they have no toilets in any prisons.
They have no toilets. And Wells too shows up. He opens the thing, he goes in there and he shoves the thing up the guy's nose, up the turtle's nose. And I wasn't sure if he pulled something out or put something in. And like, he kills him. Does he kill him?
I don't know. We'll find out next week.
That was crazy. We will find out next week. Also, Thawne, and then at the end, Thawne's back in time and he doesn't know where he is. And we're going to see the Reverse Flash back next week. I don't know how that's possible that he's still around.
It's a different Thawne from a different timeline.
Oh, you're probably right. Just like they do.
When you can speed through the time in different, dimensions and shit, anything's possible.
So this may be another. That's possible. The show it was okay. I think they have to ramp it back up again after that awesome mid-season finale.
Yeah, it was kind of lukewarm, but everything's being set into place. They're setting shit up, I guess.
It's more pieces setting because there's 23 goddamn episodes. People, they can't all be winners, but I like the filler episodes. This one I was like, all right, it's okay, it's fine. Just they're moving things along. And if they're moving things along, Ruggs, we're going to move things along.
That's a good idea.
Let's go.
Strap yourselves in, you fucks. Spoiler time.
Hi, everyone. This is the Jock and Nerd podcast. We are talking about this week's Arrow. If you guys hang out, once we wrap up the show, we're going to open it up and geek out with whatever you guys want to geek out about. We love geeking out about everything. This week's Arrow. We're in season 4, episode 10, comes back from the mid-season break. Episode titled Blood Debts. Lot of blood in titles lately.
This is true.
Blood Debts that opens, how does it open? Oh, yeah, it opens back at that graveyard scene, which is now 4 months from now. It was 6 months from now. It's now 4 months from now. And they set it up to where we're still not sure who's in the grave. Barry is there. And Ollie's like, I'm going to kill the son of a bitch. I'm going to kill him. I don't know what we're talking about. Now, we left off, Ruggs. Little Felicity got shot up pretty good.
Yeah.
And so they're cutting scenes of her in the hospital with Ollie being badass, trying to get a location on Dark, beating the shit out of people.
Well, let's speed this up a little bit. Okay. So basically, we find out that Felicity's shot. She goes to the hospital. And then she has to get in operations. The whole time. Yeah, because the bullet did some nerve damage in her spine, I'm guessing. The whole time, Ollie's just trying to fucking get Dark. Damian Dark. He's trying to fucking kick his ass.
And he gets Dark while getting Dark. He loses a little bit of his humanity.
Sure. He's just telling everybody that he's going to kill him. He's going to kill Dark. He's going to fucking go back to being a killer. And then we also see that Anarchy is loose. That guy named Anarchy, and he's got a burnt face because Speedy fucked him up with her rage and burnt him.
Yeah, Thea fucking burned him and created him. Really?
So the way this shit happens is I don't know how exactly you want to explain this, but Ollie's plan is basically to use Anarchy, who wants to kill Dark too.
Right.
To lead him to Dark.
It was kind of confusing, though.
It was very confusing.
He gets him and then breaks him out and then gets him again and then he escapes at the end. But Anarchy's still out there. I liked the idea of Anarchy. I was kind of unimpressed with him. I like his mask. It's creepy. I wish he had spray painted the fucking Anarchy sign on the mask. That would have looked cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. Because I think he's gonna keep evolving.
He'll probably get there. I don't understand how he knows how to fight. He blocked an arrow. How does this dude know how to fight all of a sudden?
I thought he was always a good fighter. No?
Was he? I guess he was.
Yeah. It's just that Speedy had the rage. Hey, listen, I'm going to drop out for 1 second. You should have someone else come on.
Okay.
And I'll be right back in 2 minutes.
Okay.
All right.
Who wants to fill in for the Rug Boy? Let me unlock this thing here.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Now I got to keep this shit going.
I'm sorry.
Okay, hurry up. Go.
Nature is calling me very loudly.
I got you. Go relieve some felt, some cotton. Ruggs. Hey, if somebody wants to jump in and co-host until Ruggs get back, feel free. I'm going to continue talking about what I liked about Arrow. We also found out that when Damian Dark, Magic Whammy Thea, it kind of controlled her bloodlust a little. And it lessened it. So that's going to be real interesting in coming up. And speaking of Dark, man, Arrow and Dark were right there. And Ollie's like, I saved your family. And Dark's like, all right, I'll give you a couple of weeks. But Damian Dark's wife, Daredevil, Kingpin's girlfriend, she's like, you should have fucking killed him right there. Despite the fact that he saved us. I thought that was interesting. That woman is dark. Nobody wants to jump in? Come on, guys. Don't be shy. I won't bite. What else did we see? Oh, and then there was the stupid flashbacks. I don't understand where these flashbacks are going. I don't even remember where it was, but there's that girl. Oh, you sound bad. I sound bad. All right, come on. The Lounge Network. Let's see if we could get. Hey, what's up, dude?
Yeah, your audio was going in and out.
Oh, it was. Okay, I think because when I get loud, I'm just gonna turn it down a little bit.
When you get loud.
When I get loud, it tends to clip, and I get excited, but I get excited really easily. Is this better, you guys? Thanks for letting me know.
No, not a problem.
Did you watch this week's Arrow, buddy? What do you think? What's your name?
I'm in the middle of what I'm just in the middle of catching up because I'm a cord cutter. So
okay, so you're gonna wait. You're watching like seasons go by, which is a good way to watch it.
I catch up on Hulu.
Okay. Oh, and they put it on like the next day, don't they?
Yeah.
So you haven't watched it yet?
No, unfortunately.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're ruining this whole fucking thing.
Oh no, you know what? It just gets me going.
Warren Baylor, actually, it's good, Warren. Thank you. Thanks for the sound check, fellas. I really appreciate it. Warren was one of our guys that we met at Podcast Fan Day, and he is awesome. Where are you calling from?
I'm in Atlanta.
Atlanta, Georgia. You guys have snow? Are you getting a lot of snow?
No, not yet. But the panic attack, did.
I know they're just scaring everybody for no reason. A. Ronsville says, "Is Heroes a TV show?" It is. I never really got into it. I heard.
Oh, dude.
Really? I heard the first season was good, and then it kind of meandered.
They're picking up. And hello, David, thank you for joining in. He left. It picked up kind of in an awkward way, but they just got the characters back in, reorganized, and the story is like, damn.
So the Reborn is good. Heroes.
Yeah, I like it.
You would think there would be a show that I will get into, considering it's all about goddamn superheroes. There's so much content to watch, though. I'm like, I gotta pick and choose, and I'm watching too many goddamn things. Okay, well, we will. I don't want to ruin the rest of Arrow. Did you watch? So you're caught up until this week's episode.
Yeah. I mean, you can go ahead.
All right. I mean, the flashbacks are still continue to be useless. However, his little tattoo thing that Constantine put on him is the Baron sees that, and he's like, "Oh wait, they're like whipping him." And the Baron sees that, and he goes, "Wait, stop! I'm gonna need him." But Ali let himself get whipped. That was pretty good by Conklin. So I was really interested to see where that tattoo would come into play, but I guess it's gonna stick in the flashbacks.
Yeah, I mean, and I wish they hadn't canceled that show. I just think it needed to be at a different network.
I really enjoyed it. I loved what they did. I think the dude playing Constantine is Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan's amazing.
Yeah, I think he's fantastic. I think it was perfect for the character.
What'd you think of him when he was on Arrow?
Yeah, I mean, I watched Constantine, and then I saw him on the Arrow, and that was awesome.
I love that, and hopefully, maybe
I just wish that it was strong enough that there'd be this huge vote by fans to say bring him back.
Yes, we did. I did watch Legends of Tomorrow, and we're going to talk about that next once Ruggs gets back. Now, there were rumors that Constantine, speaking of Legends of Tomorrow, that going forward the next season, it would be like an anthology show, and they could switch out superheroes, and maybe Constantine would show up on the second season of Legends of Tomorrow. But then I saw something else that said like it's dead, like they're not doing anything. There was a one-off, and I agree. I wish throw him in, man. Like they're fighting a magic dude right now. You'd think fucking Constantine would be the right guy to call to fight Damien Dark. That's what I didn't understand. I was like, you got Dark, you need Constantine. You guys don't know shit about magic. All you got are arrows, which he just stops and turns around and sends them back at you. Like, how are you gonna stop him? Dark is very impressive, though. I gotta say,
he's doing a great job. Yeah.
McDonough, Dum Dum, the guy who played Dum Dum Duggan. He's better than he's a little bit better than Roz, the guy who played Roz last season, I think.
Ra's al Ghul?
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, darker than Dark.
So did you cut the cord completely? This is interesting to me. You don't. Yeah, I thought about this. How do you work your stuff?
Oh, hey, okay. So,
what's up, dude?
How you doing, Ruggs? You all relieved and whatnot?
Dude, it was epic.
Oh my god! But
Wait, hold on. It looks like you lost some weight.
Just imagine like silly string shooting out of a felt penis, and then you'll get you'll kind of get the picture of what just happened.
You want to hear about this whole bathroom trip, or do you?
Absolutely. Give us the play-by-play. Don't leave anything out.
Are you interested in this real TN? All right. So I started out with a number one. I was standing up and I'm going. It's coming out like a stream, and I'm like, I'm really committed to this. But then I got an urgent feeling for a number two.
Oh no!
And I was like, how do I make this transition? How do I go from a strong number one and then I can't stop? So I'm sitting there trying to fight the other thing from happening, and it was just a struggle of the mind and body. Yeah.
Did you get goosebumps?
That's like you get chills. Yeah, that gives you chills.
Yeah, I don't know how to stop it. So I had to wait, and I didn't know what was going to happen for a minute.
Dude, you have to like use the force and like focus two separate muscles contracting and it's really hard.
If I was sitting down, it would have been a piece of cake. It would have just been all right. Let's let's open the other doors. Let's let everything out.
This is
it was like I was standing, and I had to somehow turn my body around without like decorating my whole bathroom with urine.
It sounds traumatic, Ruggs. Are you okay? Are you recovered?
Yeah, I was like thinking of scenarios like if I pee straight up, maybe it'll land. I don't know what it was a long.
It's like maybe if I do a handstand over the toilet, I can aim it off the mirror.
I was thinking of every kind of karate move that I know.
All the angles. All right. Well, I'm glad you're relieved. We'll continue. Hey, buddy, what's your name? Carlos. We're gonna keep going.
My name is Carlos.
You can hang out or whatever you want to do. We're gonna go. I think we're gonna go back to Arrow, Ruggs, because that's where we were in the middle of, right?
Yes.
So then I talked about it, and you talk about it. Bye, Carlos. Thanks for watching.
So where did you leave? We have to talk about Arrow. We're talking about the scenario that we're left with at the end, right? Or did you cover all that stuff?
Oh, we didn't get to that. That's the best part. Okay. So at the end, it cuts back to that grave scene.
Yes.
But it goes past what we've seen. Ollie goes and walks to his limo and sits down. And who's next to him?
Felicity Smoke. And she's not in a wheelchair. She's sitting there like a normal person.
4 months from now, Felicity is alive. She is not in the grave, people.
Oh, shit.
Who's in the fucking grave? I think it's Diggle or Thea then.
It's got to be Thea. Thea's a useless character. They can get rid of her. Or, but Felicity, does she like Thea that much? That she's going to be upset and want somebody to get killed?
And also, yeah, because Felicity.
What if it's Felicity's mom? She's expendable.
Ooh, Felicity goes, you got to kill the son of a bitch. I also think that it's a misdirect that they want us to think they're talking about Damien Dark. Maybe it's not even Damien. Maybe like maybe Dark has Andy kill Diggle. Maybe Diggle kills Andy, but then they wouldn't be that upset over Andy unless he has a turn, which we kind of saw. Andy opened up a little. He softened. He gave him the location, and then they were playing cards. So Diggle's finally broken down Andy.
I don't know where Andy Diggle takes a shit either.
No.
He is either.
Another cell where there's no toilet and no way to relieve yourself, and like, what's going on?
Dude,
with all
he's
these
backed up. That's why his nostrils are always flaring.
He's pissed because he's constipated because nobody gave him a bucket to shit in.
Yeah, but anyway, like, you think Andy Diggle is gonna be the guy that everyone wants to kill?
Hero IKX says in the chat, Roy Harper is coming back for 2 episodes, which is true. So there's gonna be something about Roy becoming the Red Arrow, and maybe Thea dies.
That makes the most sense. I think Thea's expendable. People don't really like Thea. I have never met a person going, wow, that Thea's awesome.
I would not mind if they put her in the grave. Tell you the truth.
Yeah, they should kill Black Canary while they're at it, because I don't like her either.
Fucking Laurel was good for a while, and then like they're writing her like.
No, I never liked her. And I just look at her. I'm like, her legs are so skinny. It's disturbing.
Is there a rainbow arrow? Carlos asks. Rainbow arrow. I'm not sure what he meant. I'm not sure what
there's a green arrow. There's a red arrow. There should be a blue arrow.
Oh, there's a rainbow arrow. There's purple arrow. It's like the lanterns. So that was really the big reveal out of all that. They're looking for Damien Dark. It's a big battle, but it's not Felicity in the grave. We don't know. And that's how they're going to keep us hooked. There's flamboyant arrow. All right. last show for the week, people.
The Jock and Nerd Podcast.
Let's spoil some shit, Batman.
Thanks for joining us on Blab. This is the Jock and Nerd Podcast Weekly, where we talk about this week's comic book TV shows. And now we are on to the pilot episode of Legends of Tomorrow, also on the CW. There's a DC show on Monday through Friday, people. They got lots of programming. I think this was probably one of the better DC pilot shows that have come out.
Wrong again, Imran.
Oh, God damn it. What the? Shit. You didn't, how could you not like this? This one, I was expecting.
No, it was okay. It was just
I was expecting it to be
the
worse.
writing was horrid.
I was expecting it to be worse, being a pilot.
Like anything that Captain Cold and his brother did were like so like 1990s TV show bad guy.
I like Heatwave's lines though. He's like, I love the 70s, and he's just beating people up, and he's just there to fucking cause pain.
It was Cheezola. it was like inducing like Cheezola. But like, okay, highlights from this is that
well, here's the setup. Look, it starts in 2016. Vandal Savage has taken over the world. He rules everything. And Rip Hunter, who's a time master, goes to his like time master council, and he's like, look, I want to get a team together and stop him. And we think that they have given him the go-ahead for a sanctioned mission. We get to see the time machine called the Wave Rider, which is pretty cool. He goes and tracks down this is stuff we kind of saw. They had to repeat things for new viewers also in this.
Yeah, there was a lot of exposition.
I thought it moved well, though. They show all the characters. He zaps them, gets them on the thing. They agree. They go on a mission. It's a lot of fun. And then we find out that Rip Hunter was not sanctioned to do this.
Yeah, he's lying to them. He basically he gasses them all up and tells them, "Oh, you guys are going to be legends, and you guys are the heroes that we need to do this mission." But he's all just bullshitting them. He got them because they're all like useless. They're all like they have no impact on the world. So they could die and they're expendable.
I like that turn, and then and then once he reveals that, he's like, "Look, if you still want to go, we need to do this. I did what I had to do," and I like their compromises. They're like, "Look, we're forgettable. Let's go be unforgettable. Let's make our fate." And they all decide to go. Of course, they're going to decide to go with them. Otherwise, the fucking show's over. It's just the first episode. Yeah. But Rip has a vendetta, and I like the element of he's being chased through time by a bounty hunter sent by the Time Master.
Yeah, it's very time travel-y.
Fucking Kronos, and there was a lot of Star Wars references, but I
thought the Boba Fett reference is probably the best.
There was a Darth Vader and a Boba Fett reference.
Yeah.
But it did kind of look like Boba Fett. But I kind of like that he's kind of on the run at the same time, and he's trying to do the right thing because Vandal, well, in the beginning, you see Savage kill this woman, mother, and this child in cold blood. And it turns out that's Vandal Savage's family. So I get it, Rip Hunter's family. I get it, Rip. You need to stop the Savage.
I mean, it has possibilities. It's got a thrust. We all know what the thrust is. We know that Vandal Savage is bad. He's going to ruin the universe. It's like a reverse Terminator, kind of, you know?
Oh yeah. So they have to kind of stop Judgment Day and jump around through time, and they go to 75 to go find this scientist or this research dude who is like the premier expert on Vandal Savage. But there's a reason. I thought, what'd you think of this little storyline?
I liked it. It was fine. I'm not really into the Hawk people that much.
No, you don't
I think that they're out of place, but whatever, you know.
This guy turns out to be Kendra and the other dude's kid from like a previous incarnation when in the 40s.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know what? I think that the partner, like, melodrama is like a little bit extra. It's too much for this show.
Well, they have paired everyone up already. Like when they were deciding to go, you know, Hawkman and Hawkgirl decide to fight to decide if they're gonna go. Sarah and Laurel are training, and they have to figure out if they should go. I like that Cisco made the White Canary suit. It's kind of a neat suit.
Well, knowing Cisco, it should have some cool abilities. But
I'm sure it will. They haven't shown anything, right? Hero IKX says it reminds him of Sliders, and it's a lot like Sliders, jumping around through time. And Quantum Leap, I love Quantum Leap. Stein has to knock out Jax to take him along unwillingly, but then he comes around. Blah blah blah. Firestorm is fucking awesome. And so that dude, they have already affected the timeline though, because I like that bar scene. They went out to have some fun and just beat the shit out of everybody.
Yeah, they had a lot of fun.
So did you notice they Forrest Gumped Vandal Savage into historical events? Like he caused World War I think. Now,
yeah, they like showed pictures of him, and he's just in every picture, just being Vandal Savage.
He's like in the Zapruder film, and he's in the fucking. That was kind of funny. I thought that
like they should at least. Like he has the same exact haircut and beard in every era. Like, come on, like let's get some crazy shit going. Like let's get a handlebar mustache in there.
Here's the other thing that was hilarious. So Kronos and Rip and them, they have that little shootout in the field, right? Kronos is behind a rock. Okay, I get it. The lasers bounce off. These motherfuckers are behind some like 1800 wheelbarrow, and Kronos is shooting lasers from the future at this wheelbarrow, and it does nothing.
Oh shit!
The wheelbarrow the wheelbarrow doesn't even move. It's blocking lasers. A fucking wheelbarrow from like 100 years ago is blocking lasers. What's going on here?
After I saw the episode, I went to Home Depot and bought 6 of those things. So in case an alien invasion comes, that's where I'm hiding.
Clearly Home Depot. Oh, it's magic wheelbarrows. Yeah. Home Depot blocks lasers from the future, people. That's what we learned.
Yes.
That was a little bit ridiculous. Despite all that, if you compare it to like the Supergirl pilot, it was better. It needed that exposition. But I felt like they jumped into the mission and got the action going pretty quickly. It looks good.
I'm watching it. I'm gonna watch it. I just thought the first episode was a little cheesy, just dialogue wise.
Warren, we're not talking about Sliders. We're talking about Legends of Tomorrow. It's kind of like, you know what it's like? It is cheesy. It's like a kid just playing with all his like action figures in real life and just be like, I'm gonna throw these guys in, and these guys fight these guys, and then there's a ship and a time machine, and then this thing happens.
I mean, you didn't think it was a little cheesy dialogue wise? You didn't at all.
I was okay with it. It was it didn't really
I think what happened is that watching all this shit has softened your brain up, and
it really has. Like at that point I had watched all these shows. I think Supergirl is really because like compared to Supergirl, like nothing's cheesy. Like that's so fucking cheesy.
But that's cheesy on a different level. Like
it is cheesy on a different level.
Like Supergirl is cheesy on like the girly what's that show with the Gilmore Girls like cheese, and this was like 1990s like TV show.
I see what you're saying.
Cheese. It's like different kind of cheese.
That dialogue didn't bother me. I'm gonna have to pay more attention to that. Again, it's the pilot, and pilots always tend to have these problems. Red Tornado was cheesy. Carlos is right, and Supergirl, and I was looking forward to Red Tornado.
Yeah, it's like porn acting. Yeah,
90210 cheesy. That is the perfect way to describe it. But I like 90210 cheesy superheroes, I guess. Like that kind of worked for me. And going through time, it's going to be interesting. Like, because I think the cheese worked in terms of like the 70s setting, but
like even the acting on Flash has gotten so much better.
Yeah.
Like, and less cheesy. Like Flash started out really super cheesy. So hopefully this is going to kind of fall in line with Flash.
Yeah, that pilot was similar. That was also really good, but you got to get this cheesy exposition shit out of the way, I guess.
Yeah. But I don't know. Well, we got a lot of shows to watch. We're going to be busy every fucking day.
It's a whole bunch of shit, people. All right, listen, we're going to do our final plugs. We're going to wrap it up, and we're going to open up the show to the blabbers and geek out with you guys.
The Jock and Nerd Podcast.
I had feedback, but I already, they need to add some mac to the cheesy. Very good suggestion by Hero IKX there. Give it a little bit of bacon on top and bake it, and just for 300 degrees. It's nice, yummy. What are we talking about?
Crustiness.
Crusty. So I had some feedback, but I already read it. It was that email from Anthony Clegg about why is Agent Carter so cheesy. A lot of cheesy on these shows, but you got to take the good with the bad, I guess. It ain't no Netflix, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out to some of the networks we are on that have been nice enough to carry our show on their site. And that would be the Tangent Bound Network, A Place to Hang Your Cape, Weeby Geeks Network, and podcast.ph. Check the show notes for links to those sites. There's tons of great geeky content, podcasts, videos, articles. I also want to mention A Place to Hang Your Cape has a Patreon. So I will put a link in the show notes. And here's the link right here. If you like what they do and you want to support them, they're making fun videos. They're making this like a geeky calendar. And I just want to help them out. Get the word to support AP2HYC on the Patreon.
We should get a Patreon.
I'm thinking about it. You know what? You bring that up, Ruggs. I'm going to do this real quick. I've been meaning to ask the listeners a question. And it deals with Patreon and bonus content like Ruggs. I don't know if you know some of the shows we record. I don't put a lot of stuff in. We have tons of bonus content because I don't want the shows to get too long, but I want all the awesome conversation to be out there. So I wanted to ask the listeners. Already people are saying do it on Patreon, which is very
now.
If you guys want to support, that would be great. It's very promising. But what we could do with this bonus content, listener, how would you like this bonus content? Would you be willing to support us for Patreon for access to little clips? Like we have awesome clips like the first time Rug Boy came on, like that wasn't recorded, and our first recording, and then the extra content. We have tons of extra post-show material.
Oh shit. I remember that.
Remember that? There's so much stuff. Would you be willing to like $1 a month to get to access to some extra videos and content? Let us know. Give us an email, show@jockandnerd.com. You guys in the chat are already saying do it. And I that means so much to me because we're coming up on our 1-year anniversary. And I was thinking of firing up a Patreon to get some more of this awesome content. We have go to our Blab and YouTube page. There's tons of extra content. If you guys ever want extra content, it's there. And then I have tons of cool shit that I've never put out that I would love to share. So let us know. Send me an email, show@jockandnerd.com. Was Rug Boy a sock when he was young? Carlos wants to know. Right?
I just did a sock a lot when I was young.
Yeah, you still have that sock, don't you?
Yeah, it became my brother. No, I'm kidding.
Oh shit.
All my DNA became Sock Boy.
Okay, Ruggs, tell Carlos your origin real quick, and then tell people where they can find you so we can wrap up this main show.
Oh, you can find me on the Twitters at Really Rug Boy. So you just get on there and we could talk. You can hear my comments about how shitty the new Godzilla is, and anything else that comes up on my radar.
Everyone is promoting Patreon for everyone. So this is very promising. Thanks for this instant feedback here. It really gives me a lot of ideas. You guys, final call to action. Like I said, if you want to contact us, just go to jockandnerd.com/contact. There's links to their SpeakPipe, email, Twitter, Facebook, everything. Subscribe to the show. It's free in iTunes. You'll get every show. Just go to jockandnerd.com/review. And it takes you right to our iTunes page. And finally, Ruggs, what do we tell everyone at the end?
Tell your friends. Tell your mom.
Tell your mom. Give your mom one of these.
Friends.
Go up to your mom's best friend and give her one of these.
Jock and Nerd.
Yeah.
And then don't explain anything. And then go up to a comic book friend and give him one of these.
Jock and Nerd.
But you have to be holding a timpani when you do that. And Carlos's mom is watching. Hi, Carlos's mom. Subscribe to us. jockandnerd.com. You guys, thanks for listening. You guys in the Blab Hangout, we're going to open it up. My name is Imran.
And my name is Rugberto.
And we'll hear you next time. Nerd. Oh, the blabs are filling up. Hi, Jordan and my man Warren. What's up?
The F is up.
The fuck?
Oh shit!
I'm so glad you guys are here, Warren. I'm so glad you're back, dude. We had a great time on Podcast Fan Day. I was just like, Anthony loved you. We were both like, dude, that dude Warren loves all the same shit we do. He's like us. Like this show is perfect for him.
Well, I gotta say that I felt like I came across very negative in the last one. I don't try to be negative, but I am very critical. This is my kind of thing. So
absolutely no. There's a difference between.
I didn't get that at all.
Okay, good. Well,
no,
then fuck all these fucking shows.
Fuck them. But you know what? That's an important difference, being negative and being critical. And I myself, I've tried to work on my fuck you, make it better stance instead of just being like, it was good. But sometimes, we got to be critical. And sometimes
I disagree. I'm a consumer. I'm consuming this shit. I'm watching it. I'm sitting there watching it, talking about it, promoting it.
Absolutely.
Have a show about it. And you got to have an opinion. You can't just sit there and go, well, that's what happened. You got to say, like, if you have an idea, if you can see where it's going and it's predictable or you think that they could do better, you should say it.
Absolutely.
Get it out there into the fabric of the universe.
Yeah, the podcast wouldn't be good if we're all like, you know what I loved about this?
But and sometimes I feel like they hear these conversations and you see shifts in the shows and you're like, wait a minute, did they hear what the fuck we said?
No, they don't hear us.
No, they don't hear us.
No, we're just saying everything everybody else is saying.
I'm delusional. Oh, that's what it is. And everybody is saying much. What'd you guys like this week? What do you guys want to geek out about?
Well, I heard today that Stephen Moffat is stepping down for Doctor Who, and the guy that's doing Broadchurch is going to do it now.
I saw that. Is that a good replacement? That's pretty
What's
big.
his name? David Tennant, right?
Tennant is Tennant is not. Is he? Who's the Doctor Who right now?
No, Broadchurch, right?
Yeah, but he was in Broadchurch, but okay. It's like I think it's the guy that was the showrunner for it.
Oh,
so the showrunner for Broadchurch is going to be the next Doctor?
No, he's going to write.
Oh, he's going to run.
Pay attention, Imran.
So what's
going to
happen, though, is that there's not going to be a new Doctor Who season this year. They're not going to do it at all. They are going to do a Christmas special. Oh. And then in spring of next year, they're going to release Stephen Moffat's final season. And then the other guy is going to pick it up in 2018.
Is he sticking with the old dude as Doctor Who, or is he replacing him?
What I'm getting at is that Peter Capaldi is still going to be there now, but nobody has any idea who the new companion's going to be. So they're unsure whether they might introduce him in the Christmas special, or if they're going to wait until the next year in the new season. So,
well, I'll keep my eye peeled for that, As
a Doctor Who fan, what do you think? Is this good, bad?
Well, to be honest, I feel like Moffat started off pretty good, but I feel like recently it hasn't been the best.
I think it needs some new blood.
I agree. I
think Moffat he blew his load already. There's nothing left. He's shooting blanks now.
I agree.
Hero IKX wants to know, and we talked about this earlier. What's the deal with the Star Wars movie Rogue One coming out in December? What do you guys?
It's about Sarah Palin.
It's about Donald Trump and Sarah Palin have caused this movie. What So they moved it, citing that they want to rewrite things based on characters that people seem to connect to, and maybe didn't. I feel like they don't have a plan, and we talked about this in the show, and this is like a J.J. Abrams thing, is they kind of just make it up as they go. What do you guys? This makes me nervous.
No, I think it's classic. What they do is they have a plan, and then when they find out that people are onto them, they do this whole backpedaling thing, and then they rewrite everything instead of just sticking to what they were going to do in the first place.
That's what I'm saying. It was never like this. They used to stick to what they were going to do, and it didn't matter.
Well, there was no internet where people would.
What are you talking about? When it comes to Star Wars, they totally didn't know that Darth Vader was Luke's father. They definitely didn't know that Luke and Leia were brother and sister, or they wouldn't have those like weird awkward kisses in the first two.
That's true. So you don't think Lucas had that whole thing mapped out? Clearly that he probably didn't know if that movie was going to even make it. There was no indication there'd be a sequel, but I feel like he had like a general outline at least. Except it does confusing why they kiss if he didn't have that planned out.
Well, do you remember that? You remember the scene where he's like they in the Empire Strikes Back where Luke's like getting treated at the medical center, and then like Leia just plants a long ass kiss on her brother in front of Han Solo.
I guess
you remember that scene, guys?
Yeah, he must be,
because I remember it.
He's making shit.
It was awkward as fuck.
Han was married in the comic book, but yeah, that maybe he was making. I just feel like there's no like central figure with a vision about what this trilogy is going to be. This new trilogy.
Well, yeah, I mean, okay, we talked about the original Star Wars, but in this day and age, to like do that shit and like be able to just, I don't know, react to fans, it seems stupid.
That's why I hate Batman versus Superman, because I feel like their whole strategy is reactionary.
Yep.
Well, you all heard my things on that like the last time. I went off on that really hard, I think. But look, I have a little bit more hope in Star Wars, the Star Wars series, than the other ones, mainly because it's a lot more sacred to people than, especially the filmmakers, than it is to like filmmakers making comic book movies or whatever. There's something else going on here. I kind of trust what's going to happen. I feel that Rian Johnson's going to be good with the new trilogy because he's writing the next two, I think. As far as Rogue One is concerned,
yeah, that was the actual question. I misread.
Yeah, that was. I want to go back to that.
I'm an idiot.
Well, because I want to go back to that because that is actually a really interesting thing. Apparently, it's going to be, there's no Force things going on. It's just all just in the universe without any kind of Force.
Really?
That's what I heard, and actually, I'm really interested in that. It's supposed to be like some kind of a war movie.
So yeah, if they make it like a military genre, so the basic plot is that this is the story of how the rebels got the plans for the Death Star before Star Wars: A New Hope. So it could be like, but you know what? They need to put fucking Darth Vader in this movie. Why can't he be in this movie? You just get a guy, put the suit on, you call up James Earl Jones, he can do it from his house and email the fucking files over.
I will say this right now. I think Darth Vader will be in that movie.
Carlos says
there's no reason why he wouldn't.
No, he should. That would be awesome.
I think Obi-Wan might too.
Yeah, Star Wars.
Alec Guinness back from the dead. He's coming out of the grave. Heard it here first, folks.
This is the same time frame as Star Wars Rebels cartoon show, which is a pretty good show. Also, Darth Vader is in that, and
I keep hearing that. Is it really that good, or is it like kid good?
It's
good enough.
It's good enough. It feels like really good Star Wars adventures, and it has an overarching story. And there's lightsabers, there's Sith, there's Darth Vader. It's well paced. It's exciting. I mean, it's for kids. But they've drawn some really good characters that could possibly make the leap into the movies. In fact, I got to meet Taylor Gray, who is the voice of Ezra Bridger. And that was really neat. And he could easily he looks like the character. I feel like they modeled it. He could easily play the live action version of him in the movie. No problem.
I like the series. I think it's good. It has something for everyone who likes Star Wars. I mean, you got Jedis in there. There's new Sith people that you've never seen before, like the Inquisitors, and
there's new
these twins that are there. Yeah, these bounty hunters.
Rugboy, is it still going? Is it done? What's going on with it?
No, they just launched an episode that had Princess Leia in it.
I think they're in like late second. Yeah, Leia shows up. It's like late second season of Rebels.
It's very young and bouncy Leia.
Yeah, I saw that. Leia.
I love young and bouncy Leia.
Yeah, young and bouncy
Leia.
Oh,
yeah.
Geek boner. That's the best Leia. Also, check out the Star Wars comic books Marvel is putting out there. Very good. There's like a Chewbacca title. There's a Han Solo title. There's Darth Vader, Star Wars. There's a Lando title that's really good.
Here's the thing about that, though, because I think a lot of fans have gotten butthurt about the extended universe, and I think what the comics are extended universe, correct? So
yes. The new ones are.
A lot of them are just like, fuck this new movie because it's completely taking away from the extended universe. That's not how it goes. And so like I understand if I were to be reading that. I think I read maybe one or two novels when I was younger. I don't really remember them. They probably weren't that good, but like there's tons of them. Yeah. And I guess they have their own kind of canon going on in that whole thing.
Yeah.
I would be mad as well.
Yeah.
If I were just invested in all of that, and then all of a sudden a new one came out and just said, fuck the extended universe, we're going forward. So therefore, I don't think I'm going to read any of the comics or any of that, because they just, unless I'm not that big. I'm for some reason I'm really into Star Wars. I'm just not into like, consuming that, because I know that it's not canon.
Yeah, that is a big fuck you to the fans to just want to buy up the franchise and then we're deleting all this shit. Sorry, people. Like Luke had twins, Han was married. There was all these storylines. Some of it was kind of cool, but
wouldn't that be funny if Finn and Rey turned out to be twins? In this progressive society.
Hey, he was adopted. It's just like Fantastic Four 2015.
Yeah.
Oh, that's all. You guys chat. I'll be right back. I got to take a pee break.
All right, listen. Remember, sit down. It'll solve the problem. I had a double exit.
Vasectomy?
Yeah, no, I had a double waist exit problem.
Oh. I'm sorry about that, man.
Yeah, it was a gamble.
Well, I would assume that your holes are really big.
Like, yeah, they're really huge. When stuffing comes out, it really comes out.
Yeah, I want to say I feel you, dog, but I don't.
So, did you listen to the show, Warren? The whole show, or you just jumped on at the end here?
No, I listened to bits and pieces. I was kind of fucking around. I was putting salt outside because it's snowing outside, folks.
Oh, is it snowing by you?
Oh, it's a snowing.
Where are you? You're in DC, right?
Oh yeah, baby.
I remember that. Wow.
Ah,
I'm impressed with my memory.
Boy.
If I can remember anything that's like more than a day, I'm like impressed with myself.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, holy shit, I
just
remember
above
that?
A goldfish.
Yeah, I have no memory. Imran is like, dude, talk about the show. And I'm like, the one that we just watched? I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, I don't remember anything. It happens a lot.
Well, Robo, do you have any?
You weren't going to watch anything this week? Didn't you say you were going to try that?
What, not watch anything and just make it up?
Yeah.
I'm going to try that one day. I'm going to see if I can fool Imran thinking that I watch the shows.
I'm very foolable. I'm easy to fool. It won't be hard.
I said last week that the last time we were on, I was not going to watch the shows, and I was just going to pretend to watch the shows.
Wait, did you watch any of these fucking shows then?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did. You did. You knew what was going on.
I did, though. I could just read the show notes that you sent me.
I know, because I take notes on them. Hero IKX is Finn. Did you read this? Finn is Mace Windu's bastard kid.
Oh, shit.
I like that. What else is on your mind?
I like it better if he was Lando Calrissian's.
Oh shit, that would be awesome.
That guy probably.
Oh, he had a thing for Leia.
What if he fucking fucked Leia?
Remember on Cloud City, he was giving.
Yeah, no, he was like,
listen, if we can just get rid of fucking Han Solo, I'll give you my Han Solo.
So you think Finn is Leia and Lando's bastard child? That's good. I'll go with that. I like that. Write that in.
Dude, Princess Leia is a slut.
Write that in.
Loves it.
That would be so fucked up if that's what happened. Yep, there's only one or two black people in the universe still, and they're having kids, and there's more of them.
Yeah, that's where the one black person comes from, Lando.
Yeah. Lando, and I'm sure Samuel L. Jackson is like the uncle or whatever.
Mace Windu is like, yeah, he's like his.
So what do you think about this whole like Oscar thing that everybody's pissed about the Oscar?
Fuck that, dude. Come on. We got more problems than that.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of silly, and maybe we do have more important things. I mean, you're talking about movies. I think the whole Oscars is just kind of outdated as it is. It's just they give the same kinds of movies awards. It's a bunch of old white guys.
And surprise, it's a very white show.
Warren, you saw Chirac, right?
Yeah, I did. Did you guys check it out?
No, I wanted to, but I never got to it. But do you think that's Oscar worthy?
No, not at all.
All right, so what the fuck is Spike Lee talking about?
You know what? I saw Straight Outta Compton. That's a pretty good movie. They could.
But is it Oscar worthy though?
The White Writers got nominated, I believe. Like, they can't catch a break.
Burn!
Just can't catch a break. That's funny, dude. You got.
I thought it was a decent movie, but I didn't think it was Oscar worthy.
I like Straight Outta Compton. Public Enemy has an amazing song called "Burn Hollywood Burn," and it's really exactly about this. How it's just all, stereotyped parts, and they're just like, "Fuck Hollywood Burn." It's a great song.
All right, but look, let me just play devil's advocate here. All right, in order for your movie to be submitted into the Oscars, somebody has to nominate it. It's a committee of people. It's a bunch of people. So if a bunch of people have no interest in your movie, and it's not the kind of movies that they watch, then that's fine. So what do we have to do? We have to get everybody, a lot more people that are on this committee that watch like those kind of movies.
Like the Oscars are they're not racist like every 3 years. Like they got 12 Years a Slave 2 years ago. They're like racist 1 year, or they're racist for 3 years, and they're not racist.
I just think that the movies are not the caliber.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Someone named me a performance. I heard, Will Smith for Concussion.
But nobody saw that movie. I don't even know if that movie exists.
And I heard his accent was like all over the place. Maybe not the best. I don't know. I haven't seen it. I can't tell you.
I heard him and Jada Pinkett's like boycotting it.
And you know what? That's ridiculous.
You know what? He's not going to be.
Find a cause that's better than that. Come on. Jesus.
It's silly.
But I'm just saying, like, the people that nominate the movies, they have to watch the movies to nominate them. So if they're not interested in black movies, maybe there's a ton of black people that are just not interested in those movies. Like, that are, I don't know, that like, I mean, I don't run out and watch every puppet movie that's out just because I'm a puppet.
You're absolutely correct. Actually, I know someone that was on they were one of the people that would vote on the Oscars like 10 years ago. And he was old back then. He's super old now. It's super old white-haired white people. It really is that. It's like, you should not be offended nor surprised that this is what it is. I mean, like, look, how many times has an Oscar, like a Oscar award-winning like Best Picture won, where you're like, that was the best film?
You don't always agree. It's kind of like hit or miss.
No, listen to me. You didn't like unless you like the cookie cutter shit.
Well, let's have a look.
Well, no, look. Here's the nominations for this year. It's The Big Short.
Okay.
Bridge of Spies.
Okay.
Spielberg, whatever.
On there.
Brooklyn.
I saw all these movies, by the way.
The Martian.
Really?
Yes.
The Revenant.
Yes.
Room. Spotlight.
I didn't see Room.
I saw Room. It's actually really good.
Yeah, I heard that.
Spotlight, and then just because they want to be different, Mad Max, and that was just a little bit of a little crumble of something.
I don't know, Mad Max and The Martian. I feel like you could have thrown fucking Straight Outta Compton instead. One of those.
Yeah, I could see that too, but like
if Mad Max is in there, then Straight Outta Compton could have been in
right,
there.
Mad Max is like if you're giving Mad Max a fucking nomination, and how about a superhero movie next time? It's just a big fucking.
I have a cinephile friend of mine that I see movies with all the time. I thought he was smart. He's not smart apparently, because he's gonna bet me $100 that Mad Max will win.
Will win? A lot
no
of people,
way.
This is another.
No way in fucking hell. Any other one of those are gonna win. Fucking Carol, is Carol nominated? No. Brooklyn will win.
But Brooklyn
was an okay film, but it reminded me a lot of The Notebook in its structure.
Absolutely.
I feel like everybody's going for The Revenant.
Yeah, no. The Revenant was going to win. I'm just saying Brooklyn would might as well win on top of Mad Max, because Brooklyn's not going to win. It's not a good movie. It's okay. It's all right. Revenant will win because it's just enough weird and just enough artistic to be the best picture.
See, but I think Revenant should get best director and not best picture, because really the defeat of directing that movie the way he did, that's fucking crazy.
No, I don't care about what you went through when you directed the film. I just care about the film itself.
Well, that's true. Like, just because you slept in the cold doesn't mean it's a good fucking movie.
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, like, there's a lot of movies that win because of like things like outside things that happen with the people that are involved. Like, oh, this guy died, and give him the best award or whatever.
There's politics involved.
There's a lot of politics. It's convoluted with politics. And just to piggyback off that, real TLN said Mad Max blowed. I don't necessarily think it blowed. However, I think there are two camps of people that when they see Mad Max is what they think, and it really comes down to if you bought into the guitar player on the fucking
I saw
the fucking goofy ass guitar player.
Wasn't the guitar on fire also?
I'm sure it was. I kind of like was tuned. I tuned out.
Fire out or something.
It was super cheesy to me. Some people were like, but there's a lot of people who are like, that was the best part. It just was badass.
Well, those people they probably like Kiss. That's probably why. It's a Kiss concert.
There's a lot of people that like Kiss, unfortunately.
It's debatable. It's
like
not
a lot of fucking people like Kiss.
That is an acquired taste. Now, look, I always thought Denzel Washington should have won for Malcolm X, and they made up with that with Training Day. I mean, I think he was great in Training Day. I don't think it was Best Actor great, but fucking Malcolm X.
And they're gonna do the same thing with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yes,
I don't think
it's a makeup Oscar. Sorry, we missed you. Here's it for this thing.
It's not his best film, but he will get the award because he's got a body of work that eventually will get.
He ate a bison and grew up and lived and slept outside. Some other shit.
He had a hard time. Let's give him an Oscar.
Oh, poor Leo.
I know that's fucked up. Like throw me in the movie and put me in below zero weather. I'll act my ass off.
Look, if there's no catering trailer while you're shooting, you'll get an Oscar. It's automatic. Yeah. That's just how it works.
He had to kill a bison.
Did they kill that poor bison? Nobody cares about him. Dude, I heard.
What about the bison?
I heard Room was crazy. Actually, my coworker had told me about the actual case it's based on, and it was the Fritzl. I guess the lady's name was Fritzl.
Don't ruin it. I want to watch.
Okay. So here's the thing, though. Like Rug Boy. Do you know anything about Room?
I know that it's a girl and a boy is in it.
Okay, well, and apparently there's a Room. Apparently,
is that boy nominated? I think he might win.
Yeah.
But that's funny. Because I like for the
mother and child. Is it a mother and child?
Mother and child, and for the first half of the movie, I was like, "Is that a girl? I don't know. It's a girl." But like going in with no knowledge of the movie, I had no knowledge of the movie. Someone just told me to see it. I kept hearing about it, and then I finally saw it. And then because I had no knowledge of what was going on, there's a mystery to like what's going on in the first, I guess, first half maybe. The first act, and you're like, what the hell's going on? You have no idea what's happening, and that's what keeps you interested in this small movie.
I got a movie for you guys. Did you guys watch Anomalisa?
Oh
no.
Shit!
It's kind of like a claymation movie.
Yeah, I saw it.
And it's got like clay penis in there.
It's also
it's like an adult. It's like an adult movie.
It's an adult. It's an adult stop motion.
Yeah, it's got
There's a middle-aged man that comes out of a shower.
It comes out of the shower. He's got a dick.
He's got a big gut and a dick. And
do you get to see tits in that movie? Because I turned it off before.
It's
rated R.
It's just a dick.
I think I might have to watch that.
Only the dick, no tits.
Man, I was waiting for it too, man.
Oh, you were waiting for it.
I was waiting for the tits.
Oh, this is really weird. I mean, I'm a puppet, but like, come on, this is weird.
Well, look, I'm into puppets, Rug Boy. This is why I'm talking to you. This is why we have a good rapport.
You guys, look. Here's another perfect example. This movie Creed with a black lead and a black director. Who gets the nomination?
Sylvester Stallone.
That's the politics. That's the politics, dude.
Again, this is
die soon. All right.
And yeah, he got. I mean,
all right.
Got one for Rocky. This will be a nice bookend to the Rocky Oscar.
The guy's like in his 70s now.
Okay, so this takes place of. So really, the Oscar, here are the real Oscar categories. It's not Best Actor. It's not Best Director. It's, okay, makeup Oscar for someone we fucked up with a couple years ago. Who's the next guy that's going to die? Let's give him an award before he leaves us. What's another one? Here's your random ethnic character. Let's throw them one. And then you also
random ethnic character.
No, not in this one this time.
But here's the thing. I'm glad that this
Stallone is black. Carlos says.
I'm glad that this year has been so kind of dry on like topical subjects because it really kind of shines a light on what the Oscars are. The only and look, it's going to sound a little racist of me, I guess, but I'm being racist of the Oscars. I'm white and I'm against the white people. All right. So here's the thing. They 12 Years a Slave won because it was about slavery. And I'm going to say that right now, and I'm not taking it back. It was an okay movie. I love Stephen Queen. Fucking Shame, his movie Shame is an amazing movie. 12 Years a Slave is an okay movie, but you can't say that. So you're gonna have to give them. And what was the other thing that was up against 12 Years a Slave? It was Dallas Buyers Club.
Oh yeah.
And as I'm watching that show, a lot of my friends were like, Dallas Buyers Club's going to get it. Like, I'm seeing all these other wins. I'm like, nope. I said, slavery trumps AIDS.
AIDS, yeah.
Slavery is going to win. That's how it is. The worse something, and it's the more guilty a white person feels about something in these award ceremonies, and it's about that, and the subject matter is in that movie, they're going to win the film if at least it's an okay done movie, you know?
I mean, Tom Hanks, when he won the Oscar, what was he playing? He played an AIDS guy, and another one, it was like a mentally challenged guy, and that won him.
Yeah, he played Mr. AIDS guy.
Yeah, that's how you get your Oscars, man. Like, so here's the Cancer of the Week award goes to this guy.
Yeah,
that's all this is.
They said that on Tropic Thunder. Like, if you're about Oscar stuff and what gets Oscars,
that's a great, and he plays a great character in that one.
Yeah,
Ben Stiller.
That's right. You can't go full retard.
I mean, are you guys even gonna watch? Chris Rock is hosting. Like, to me, I'm gonna watch to see what his take is on this.
It's so watered down, these award shows. Like,
do you think he'll be able to say anything? Have the balls to skewer it? Or they're?
I hope he does. I really hope he does because of that whole thing.
No, man, the weight is on his shoulders. He's got to speak up for his peeps, man. He's got to say something. He's got. They're gonna be looking at him.
Be passive aggressive about it or make some kind of joke.
If anything, this is going to help their ratings because I think the ratings have been lagging the last couple of years. It's just too long, and who watches the whole fucking thing?
And
he'll probably make a joke that he's like the only black person there right now, or something.
Yeah.
Boy.
But this is what I want to say about this whole thing. I don't want to start any kind of race controversy. All right. But, I think that the thing that bothers me the most is that there even is a category like black movies. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
best black person.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's stupid. Like, that there's black movies and there's BET awards. And it's like, I think that we had this conversation a long time ago. I was talking to some dudes and we're like thinking that in this world, we're self-segregating.
Yeah.
All right.
Look, Rug Boy. It's a response.
No, but in this world,
it's a response to the Oscars. It's a response to all of the big white, shielded award ceremonies. There's a reason why they made that award ceremony. Is because they're being kicked out of.
No, I understand that. I understand it. But like, listen to what I'm saying.
Okay.
Right? A long time ago, when you had like 7 networks, right? The networks, it was a network's responsibility to make things, multicultural and diverse. Okay. Now there's a channel for everything that someone's into. They never have to come across something that they're not familiar with if they don't want to. When you used to watch network television, you can't help but come across stuff that you're not programming yourself. Like, if I don't like black people, I can make it so I never have to watch anything with black people in it. If I don't like Muslims, I can make it so I never come across a Muslim. And that's the bullshit that we're living in right now, is that like you can get a kid that's urban, that grows up in an urban neighborhood, never even heard a Beatles song in his life. That's or across the same thing. There's kids that are white that grow up and they have no idea who Marvin Gaye is.
Who's the Wu-Tang Clans?
You know what I mean?
All they know is Drake.
Yeah. So it's like we're shutting each other out by having this specialized content. You know,
segregation. You calling it self segregation. I kind of makes sense. I see that where I mean it's mixed messages where you want everything integrated, yet everybody is breaking out into their own.
Exactly.
Which one is it?
Yeah, who is Beth Oven?
Beth Oven. She makes great cakes. Don't you know her? Doesn't she work with you, Jordan? Beth Oven.
I gotta check her out.
Oh yeah, you know her and I every morning.
She's friends with Tommy Toaster. That's all.
Yeah.
And Mozart.
Mozzarella.
Mozzarella. That's when you take mozzarella and you make sculptures out of it. Mozzarella. Is that what that is?
See what sticks.
So Spike, I got the mozz.
Yeah. But that's kind of how it's kind of how it is right now. There's nothing you can do about it because it's like.
But you got to make people aware that they're doing this shit. That's all. Just shine a light and say, listen, the reason why everybody's so like against each other more than normal these days is because we have the ability of not to see the other person's side. We have the ability to just turn a blind eye and live in our own little country world where we listen to our country songs and nobody fucking has, you know what I mean?
Oh, calm down on the country, Rug Boy. You have something to give a bone to pick?
I don't like rednecks because I think they're ignorant, and I don't like people from the inner city because I think they're ignorant too.
And I don't like rednecks on my television.
Don't come down here then.
Stay away from Oklahoma.
Don't come here.
Well, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like, I think that if you're open to everybody and you give everybody a chance, I think the world will be a better place instead of just like fencing out your little area and saying, okay, this is what comes in my area. That's it.
But they don't make it exclusionary. The people running these media companies, and let's be honest, there's 6 companies that actually control every magazine. And
they're directly marketing to all of these different facets in order to actually keep people
separate
from unifying. Yes.
Oh,
they're making money off of our angst.
Yeah, I mean, I see it from both sides. Obviously, I agree that things shouldn't be segregated. I would like it to be a little bit more mixed up, but it's coming from both sides where it's like, you know, the behind the scenes are segregating, and therefore the people that the consumer is feeling that they need segregated entertainment. And so it feels like, you know, whatever they're giving to us, we feel like we need that. We need an all black show. We need an all white show, you know, and then if there's any kind of crossover, there's a white friend or a white or a black friend, and that's it. You know, a sassy white friend a goofy white friend or a sassy black woman, you know, and that's all you need.
But that's the thing. We've created this world where there are things like that. It doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't.
Well, like Aziz Ansari, you know, he has Master of None, and he's got his token white friend.
Yeah,
he reverses it. I mean, me too. Growing up, look, I was born in America. I'm Pakistani, so you know, it's like Indian Pakistani. Raised Muslim, growing up in America. I didn't see anybody like me on TV. It didn't really bother me. I give a fuck. But then when Fisher Stevens was cast as like a Pakistani guy in Short Circuit, I got very confused because I thought he was Pakistani.
Look, you're on that Fisher Stevens train about you don't like his. I
love Fisher Stevens. I love the fact that he spent time and learned how to phonetically say it properly. Like that impressed me.
Well, that's good that he did. I didn't.
Yeah, he put the time in there. I was like, oh, like I love that anytime that because people would know it anytime they try to do like a Indian Pakistani thing and they get it right. New Girl is actually pretty good with that. With what's her face, Cece and her side of things.
Oh right, yeah. Well, no, it's funny because like I was like I felt kind of racist because I'm like Fisher Stevens doing pretty good on this role. Like he's got it down, but I'm like, oh no, that's me being white.
But look at what about Ben Kingsley as Gandhi, dude? He's part Indian, but he's mostly English, but he fucking nailed it.
Oh, I've been shot.
That's the best ending of any movie. He was so fucking good.
I've been shot.
But then you have stereotypes like so Temple of Doom. Temple of Doom, Kalima. Kalima just means black mother.
You must go to Bangkok.
Yes, that's what I was going to say.
Simaliga.
That's the all Indian people. You will go to Bangkok and get the stones and return. But
wait. Can I say one thing? Because you mentioned Master of None. I just want to say one thing about that because Master of None made a point to almost drive it home that they're trying to be multicultural. And I'm actually like thinking in my head, I got taken out of the show. I'm like, oh, okay, there's a white guy, there's a black guy, there's an Asian guy, or a white guy, black girl that's a lesbian, an Asian guy, and then we have an Indian guy. We have the whole UN here at the bar, the whole UN of friends. And look, it's not like I don't hang out with multicultural people, but it just felt like that was a very specific decision they made to push back upon just the all white, all black casting.
And not even with the casting, with the stories and things too. There was a whole episode on Indians in medias and in movies, and his experience with trying to get on a show, and how there was like a producer who made a racist comment, and like how he was wanting to react to it, and things like that. And even like he put his own parents on there and did a whole like how to what's it like to be a first generational kid in America, both ways, in the Asian and with being Indian. And I mean, it's very diverse in casting, but even the stories that he puts out there are very really realistic, and could even probably a lot of people could relate to.
But that's to your point, Rug Boy. Aziz's experience is like, all I'm getting is shitty stereotype roles. I don't see people like me on TV. I'm just gonna fucking do it myself. And it's a great
but
show.
He doesn't understand. He's in a minority. Up until now, there wasn't that many, of his kind here. So why even bother representing it when you have a million places where there's not one Indian guy anywhere at the time when he was growing up? In my town where I grew up, there was like 3 Indian guys out of in a school of like 1,000 people. That's not a very many Indian guy.
I'm sorry, I gotta reference the chat real quick. There's no Latinos in Star Trek, but they built the Enterprise.
Carlos is
no, that even mystifies me. All right, like Latinos, like.
He says, as a Latino, I was insulted that Star Trek had no Mexicans. And then I wrote, there are no Mexicans in the future. And then he wrote, but they built the Enterprise.
That's a good call out.
That's fantastic.
Oh, shit.
But like, even as a Latino, that
TV show, by the way,
I think we need to see a prequel to Star Trek where the Mexicans.
It's just a bunch of Mexicans building the Star Trek.
Everybody knows Mexicans cook the best any kind of food. Like, you think you're eating real Indian food, real Filipino? It's all cooked by Mexicans, and they nail it every time. Come on.
Yeah, it's true. But I was just saying about representing people, okay, that are on TV. Like, if you're from a country, you come to America, you shouldn't be expecting to turn TV on and be like, okay, if you're from like Kazakhstan, and like you're like, I expect to turn on and say, why come there's no Kazakh people? Like,
you're walking a line here, Rug Boy.
All right, that's stupid. That doesn't make any sense. That mentality is dumb. Now, the thing is about Latinos. All right, there are so many different kinds of Latinos. All right, they're all different. They all have different cultures. They spread out from all the way down to South America to Europe. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
do they now? Isn't that insulting to your own culture? If you were gonna take, let's say for example, I'm half Italian. All right. So they throw a Spanish guy from Europe, and I'm supposed to. It's a different country.
He's half felt, half Italian.
All right.
Felt Italian.
Am I going to be insulted that I'm supposed to feel like fulfilled because there's somebody from Europe on? It doesn't make sense. They're not from different countries. Why would putting a general Mexican person make somebody who's Argentinian happy?
Yeah, or I go to
it
the
makes
UK.
No sense. They're all lumped in. It's all like a bunch of bullshit.
Well,
I go to the UK as an American and be like, why are these funny talking people on my televisions?
Yeah, it's just trying to appease there's 1,000 people, 1,000 kinds of people in America. How are we going to appease everybody?
Isn't this thing of entitlement a little bit too? Maybe?
At what point do you get to be represented? When you have a billion people, a 10 million, then we're like, okay, now we have to notice everybody.
Let me just say something real quick about this, because I know a lot of people, because DC is a big theater place. They do theater musicals. They're pretty big. I don't know. They're the top 3, I think, in America. And so I have a lot of friends that are in theater because I do film. So we kind of mix and match. But I had a conversation kind of like in Aziz Ansari's situation, where I had a conversation with a Chinese guy, and I had a conversation with a black girl, and they were both like in a play together, and we were talking about race in theater, and it's even more hard for an Asian guy instead of a black, because the black girl brought it up. She's like, "Look, I'm lucky in theater that I'm either white or black, because it's either white or black for theater. There's
nothing in between.
Asian, it's like, and you're doing like plays, like Shakespeare plays and all that stuff. You can do whatever. Like there's no racial. There's really nothing racial about.
They're not casting an Asian dude,
but they're not going to cast an Asian guy as a lead, no matter what.
Wow.
If they do an all black Shakespeare, they'll put it on the marquee. All black Macbeth.
Yeah, then you gotta
it's called Macbeth.
call out
Mick Black.
Yeah,
it's called Mick Black.
Blackbeth.
Yeah. So there's no in between. It's only white or black in theater, and
I want to see an all Asian cast of Hamlet now. That's interesting. I can do that.
But that's what I'm saying.
See that though. I want to see some mix. Give me instead of Mulan, because the only thing he could get cast in as a lead part is Mulan. That's the only thing he can get cast in.
Yeah. Wow, that's crazy. I didn't realize it was even worse than the.
No, it blew my mind. I'm like, wow, movies are actually really progressive in the entertainment industry. Besides, if you're going to consider, if you're going to put it against like theater, it's really just white or black.
My sister turned me on to this show on Netflix that is kind of like Master of None, but it's called Meet the Patels, I think, and it's like a sitcom.
I thought it was a documentary.
Oh, maybe it is a documentary. But it's Meet the Patels. It's an hour and a half. Oh yeah, it's a documentary. Geeta V. Patel follows her brother, Indian-American actor Ravi Patel, as he embarks on a quest to find a wife, make his family happy.
Hip-hop Shakespeare.
Hip-hop Shakespeare. Dude, that would be awesome.
Where art thou, yo? Like, look,
isn't that what Chirac is?
Well, the Chirac is
it's a little more
Greek theater. Yeah, hip hop Greek theater.
Surprisingly, it's a little more nuanced than that.
It's
batshit crazy, and I would recommend everyone see Chirac. Next movie you should see is Chirac. Everyone see Chirac. It's an entertaining film. It's not a good film, but it is super fun.
Is there tits in it though?
Oh, there's TNA.
Hey, as long as it's compelling and it sparks conversation, it makes you think about shit. Like that's what I want from a Spike Lee movie.
Yeah, exactly. So he's back to somewhat. He's true to somewhat form.
Really? Okay, yeah.
After like the horrible movies he made the last four.
Let me guess. Is there a shot where does he do that shot where it's like the guy's walking down the street, but he's not walking?
Oh, come on, son. He does that in every movie, son.
Of course, like it's a thing. I love that though. It's a signature.
I love it too. And every time it comes on screen, I'm like, oh, it's a shot.
That's what I miss about the 90s when like it was director movies, because you wanted to see Quentin Tarantino shots, you wanted to see Spike Lee style, you wanted to see all these guys. I think we talked about it last time, and now it's all just like movie by committee, sort of.
Yeah, it's all like Jurassic World is like kind of like a good example of that. It says like it doesn't feel like it was directed by anyone.
No, and they just made a shittier version of the first movie, trying to capitalize on the nostalgia.
It wasn't directed by anyone.
No,
it wasn't any style to it, anything like that. It just kind of was paint by numbers.
The movie was literally constructed in a factory and put out there.
It's enjoyable. It's an enjoyable movie. I will never watch it again. It's not a classic in any sense of the word, but it was enjoyable. It did what it needed to do, and that's what. Look, that's the main thing I keep on driving back home about all of these franchise movies is that it's just okay. It gets away with enough for people to be like, nah.
But it shouldn't be just okay. Carlos is right. He says it was a Starbucks documentary. The problem is it was just okay. It made $1 gazillion. It gives everyone a blank check to, okay, we can make really shitty, big, dumb movies now, and these fuckers are going to come see it and give us their money.
Well, see, I saw what they were trying to do there, and they really should have pushed it more, because they were trying to say that they were trying to monopolize dinosaurs for the mass consumption.
Yeah.
It was the same idea as the movie. I saw what they were going for, and I think if the director had any kind of vision, or the writer had any kind of vision, that was the vision, which is like, well, when this movie comes back, it's going to be a huge like $3 million movie or a $300 million movie or whatever, And so let's just put that in the movie. Like it's like we made this into a theme park now. And so we're gonna have Starbucks all over the place.
Yeah.
We'll have Chipotle's and whatnot. Like I felt like they should have just really like just drove that home.
Yeah.
I don't remember how much they did with the marketing in the movie, like how many like different types of I think they had a Ford dealership or something like that.
There was a lot of restaurants and a lot of sponsors.
Johnny Rockets or something.
In that fucking scene. Ruggs, Carlos wants to know what you think of John Carter of Mars, and I love your opinions on this. Go.
Well, John Carter of Mars,
from Mars, Rug Boy.
John Carter of Mars.
Is it of Mars or from Mars?
Well, it's from Mars.
Well, it could be whatever. It's actually a Princess of Mars, if you want to get technical.
Well, the movie was just called John Carter.
Yeah, it should have been called John Carter of Mars. But okay, so
Mars.
John Carter,
it is of Mars.
It was a failure because of a couple of things. Number one, they called it John Carter. All right. Number two, like that doesn't evoke anything of a space epic. Okay.
Yeah.
Number two, they cast Taylor Kitsch. And he's all right, but I mean, they could have gotten a billion other actors to do John Carter.
Yeah.
And three,
that really crushed his career, by the way.
Yeah. He never recovered from that.
He could not carry the film. Yeah. He couldn't. And three, even though they did a pretty good job with it, it could have been a lot better.
I enjoyed the movie. I mean, it was a fun ride. But you're right, John Carter sounds like a biography of a boring white dude in a library.
Well, Here's another going back to it. And look, I've heard more about John Carter than I have never seen the movie, but I've heard a lot about it, just about like the difficulties it had, like trying to market to an audience. They tested it too much to the point where it became what it was. They're like, okay, it was originally called John Carter of Mars. And then they're like, oh, the female demographic, they don't like Mars. They don't want to leave the Earth. They love Earth. That's it. They don't like Mars at all. So we got to take out the of Mars. It's like, okay, well, we'll just call it like John. No, we can't call it John. We'll call it John Carter, and we'll see what happens.
They just should have called it Space Lord, and that had been it.
Carlos says the book influences scenes that were made into Star Wars movie.
I've been saying this since we ever talked about this.
John Carter has influenced us. Everything sci-fi.
The book was written in the 1800s.
1911.
It's the same with Dune. Dune really influenced Star Wars as well.
Yeah. But it has. I still think they can make a really good push with John Carter because he's been around for a while.
No, they blew their load already. It's over. I mean, look, they've made 1 million Tarzan movies, and they're still gonna. I don't know why they're still making Tarzan movies.
So John Carter has influenced everything from Buck Rogers, Flash Gordon, Superman, Adam Strange, Dune, and Star Wars, and even Avatar.
Yeah.
It's influenced everything. So it's a super influential, super important piece of work in science fiction.
See, I don't really know anything about it. I think I remember seeing a trailer and I was like,
well, basically, it's a really cool idea. It's basically, I think it even influenced Superman.
Look at this.
Superman.
I don't see the picture. It's not
like Superman is John Carter in reverse. All right. John Carter, or Princess of Mars is about a human who goes to Mars, and because he's from Earth and the gravity's different, he's got superpowers on that planet. So he's a regular guy. And then when he gets to Mars.
Oh, there you go. Oh,
all right.
Wow.
Hold up. If they had Princess of Mars and John Carter, then I think it would have made at least $10 more million.
Carlos, did you paint that? Did he paint that? Wow. You're really good, dude.
Look at you.
Carlos, we may have to have you on the Jock and Nerd podcast as a guest.
Look at you, bro. Can you do a picture of me? What about me?
Very cool.
That's very good. Carlos, send us a Twitter or something. I definitely want to talk to you on the show. It'd be awesome. Oh, and we would love to be on your website, and then you come on the show, and our listeners will get to meet you. Done. We got a show there. This is how shows are made here at the Jock and Nerd Podcast. You guys, I got a question about on the superhero movie schedule slate. It still says in October there's going to be a Gambit movie by Fox starring Channing Tatum. Here's the thing. They are not starting production in New Orleans until March.
Whoa!
Wait, when is it? When is it set to?
October. Premiere? Is this possible?
Whoa.
That's gonna be a very fast post production.
I think it's gonna be a shitty movie because if you're,
I feel like it's gonna be like the first Wolverine solo.
Boy.
Oh boy.
It's probably just going to be thrown together.
Yeah.
I mean, if you start shooting it in March and you're going to turn around and put it out in October, what kind of fucking movie is this?
They're going to have to move it back.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to
There's no fucking way in hell.
I don't know.
Yeah, they're dealing with a house of cards here, fellas.
Oh, I like what you did. I see what you did there.
Geek boner.
House of powered up charged cards.
It's going to be a little bit of a 52 pickup, if you know what I mean.
So A Rounds was good. Oh, he's asking. Okay.
I'll let you know. Well, the book was written like in the 1900s, early 19. Was it 1912? You said
1911.
1911.
How many books?
All right, and there was a shitload of books, and they basically, you know,
a shitload. Okay.
All right, but there was like about, I'm gonna say I know of at least 6. There's probably more.
Okay.
But basically, what happened is it got taken over. Like, you know, when something good happens and then somebody else rips it off and then they become more successful than the original thing. Well, Flash Gordon, Buck Rogers, all of these space epics came out, and Star Wars, everybody forgot about John Carter. That's why you haven't heard of it. And the other people took the idea and actually made it iconic. So to do a John Carter or to do anything with Princess of Mars would seem like a ripoff of Star Wars. So they're in a fucking bind because they can't, even though they were the original book, since they never got made and never got made into a big movie, everybody's going to think that you're ripping off Star Wars. You're ripping off Dune. You're ripping off this, but it was the original book. So how do you convince the world, okay, this is the one that started it all?
You can't.
Yeah.
It's so embedded. Let's just say for just for shits and giggles that John Carter from Mars had "Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope." There's no way you can put that in the movie now because someone else made that iconic. You know what I'm saying?
And I guess it does lack kind of an iconic villain or iconic moment or even look of the character has changed. And it's just like a dude with a cape in the 30s when they were illustrating these books and a sword and acrobat shorts.
Yeah.
It's not really like a defined look. Like maybe if you had like a really iconic costume, it would have helped him. Daredevil is coming out in March, actually. March 18th there, Hero IKX. Earlier than we thought, which is going to be awesome, dude. We're going to get Daredevil Season 2 very soon.
Look, again, we'll see what happens with that. I feel like they're probably going to jump ship real quick for that.
Really? You know, Punisher, Elektra, it looks we have
a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff, man. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it because they kind of got like the exposition out of the way in the first season, and they've also, I read this article that they're promising like that hallway scene from the second episode that was awesome. They're like, this one we got a hallway scene on crack that's going to be even crazier.
Oh, we got the hallway scene, but it's like it's actually not a hallway. It's in the sky. It's a sky scene. They jump out of an airplane and they fight in the air in one shot.
Instead of 12 guys, there's 60 guys. Yeah.
This reminds me of this is a good example. I think this reminds me of Casino Royale. Remember Casino Royale?
Yeah.
How great that was. Like everyone's like James Bond. Oh shit. Oh, and then they're like, oh yeah, James Bond. Yeah, he's badass. Let's up the badassery and make the most amazing movie ever called Quantum of Solace.
And it sucked donkey dick.
That wasn't a good movie, was it?
Yeah, look, the fact that there's no response to that means that movie sucked absolute buttholes. Tons of buttholes.
Well, how about the last one? Was that any good? This what's it called?
It was very cliche James Bond.
I heard that. I heard it was just run of the mill James Bond. It wasn't bad. It wasn't good.
You guys seen John Wick? What's that about?
Yeah.
Is that any good?
Yeah,
it's okay. I think people are hyping it up a lot, but it's pretty good.
I didn't hear any of the hype. I thought it was a great movie.
Who is John Wick? What's the deal? It's
Keanu Reeves. That Key and Peele movie that's coming out called Keanu about the cat.
Oh, I saw that.
It's based on John Wick. John Wick is about a guy who used to be a hitman, and they kill his dog, and so he kills everybody.
Keanu looks fucking hilarious.
Wait, what's the movie called Keanu about?
It's a Key and Peele movie.
Oh, it's a riff on that. They're making a whole movie? Gangsters steal
Key and Peele's cat.
Wow.
And they have to go find them and stuff.
Oh, I'm so glad they're making a movie.
Check out the trailer.
The cat's name is Keanu.
Oh, the cat's name is Keanu. Holy shit. I love that Key and Peele are making a movie. They're hilarious. I love them.
Yeah, I'm glad that they've come out with a movie that they actually endorse.
Oh, you got to see this because Key and Peele, like they start out the movie acting really like super duper white, and then they have to go and get the
have to be all
like these gangsters, and they automatically just start dropping N-bombs all over the place.
You got to check out the trailer.
They're really genius. Their college football draft names bit is fucking hilarious. Have you seen the racist zombies? It's so good.
Yeah, they're awesome.
I like the one where they're in the church and they're old ladies and they're talking about how they're going to beat up the devil and stuff.
And then
like, I'm going to ride that devil hard, yeah. I'm going to give that devil a
Dude, the racist zombies, it's like zombie apocalypse and they're running through zombies. And
I know what you're talking about.
Running, they notice that like the zombies are shuffling away from them.
Kind of like Walking Dead, right?
And then they go up to this car and there's zombies and the windows roll down. They approach the car and the zombie locks the door. He goes, yo, these zombies are motherfucking racist. You see that shit? It's the funniest fucking thing I've ever seen.
Racist zombies.
And meanwhile, there's a whole black family having a party in the back. They're like, come on, we're having a party. It's the fucking funniest shit I've ever seen. It's amazing.
Yeah, they're probably the funniest sketch comedy.
Like they can handle race in such a brilliant way.
Chappelle, definitely.
Chappelle and them, like they'll attack race, but they do it in such a unique way, and it works. It's so good. It's so hard to do that.
Yeah, so check out that trailer, man. It's really good.
I'm definitely gonna check out their movie.
That's coming out in April. I'm gonna jump off real quick, but like before I go, I wanted to mention this because I kind of thought about this when we were talking about the John Carter series. Anyone know about the Foundation series at all with Asimov?
Yes, they tried to do Bicentennial Man was based on that.
Oh, whoa, all right. Well, Foundation is I think a
iRobot.
It's like a 9-book series or something like that.
Yes,
and HBO picked it up, I think.
Awesome.
And it's the
seminal
really
book of robotics. And
the whole story spans about like 1,000 years, and it's already in the future anyway. And there's a whole thing that connects it together. This mathematician guy, whatever.
Every sci-fi movie has ripped this shit off.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Matrix, everything.
They're gonna go back to the source.
The Dunes, the Star Warsals, but like
Terminator.
But no. Here's the thing. It's still. I've read the whole series. It's still pretty fucking original, and no one has really done something like this. And if it's going to HBO, it's probably going to be like the next talked about like fantasy sci-fi show.
What's it called? Foundations?
Yeah, it's called Foundation. It's Asimov's. It's like basically it's magnus opus. Basically,
I'm all in if they adapt that and they got a nice budget.
Okay. Well, the main idea is it's in the future. It's like all these galactic empires and shit. But like basically kind of like Star Wars. But there's the one thread that's that combines the whole thing is that there is this guy named Harry Sheldon, and he's like a mathematical genius, and he figured out mathematically how to tell the future. So he dies in the first part of the whole series, but he sets some holographs to go off at specific times in like hundreds of years from now, whatever, at a specific time where he needs to tell you about like what you need to change in the timeline. And sometimes depending on like what the history does and also all that stuff, sometimes the holograph goes off and no one sees it.
So
sometimes like everyone knows about it and they're all like gathered around. But it all depends on like how it goes, and it's really interesting. It's always different characters and different timelines and all, so it's different stories each book. But
why in the future are they still naming people Harry Sheldon?
This is a good point.
I would like to think we got a little more creative than your Harry Sheldon.
My name is
This is a time. This is a sign of the times too. I think it was like written in like the 50s or whatever,
right,
like,
the
60s.
I'm sure, but
so they have like certain ambassadors like ashing in their space ashtrays where like there's no ash. It just kind of just zaps it out.
It's like a retro post-futuristic.
I would love to see that though. Like it's like a 60s type of futuristic thing.
Yeah.
And also the cool thing about how it's written is it's written as though it's told like prehistoric history.
Oh,
so there was nothing written about these stories, so it's written as though it's like we're trying to figure out like how prehistoric man came to be and all that stuff. So it's written in a way where it's like it's shady. There's an I think there's an almanac or something like that where like there's a galactic almanac.
Sounds really interesting though. I think I would dig this.
Oh, it was a great read, man. I read all of it over the summer, and or like a couple summers ago, and I thought it was fantastic. And I'm like, this needs to be a fucking series. And now it's going to HBO. Like it's either HBO or Netflix that I would be happy with. And so I'm glad that they're doing this.
Right on.
I'm psyched, man. Yeah. I'm down to see this.
Battlestar Galactica.
All right.
Shit.
That's me and my geekiness.
Warren, thanks
my
for
geekiness,
man.
Maybe I'll come back, guys, but I'll jump off. Let someone else come on.
All right. If not, we'll be back next week doing the same shit, same day. So.
Yeah.
Thanks
it's always
for
a pleasure,
stopping
guys.
by. You're awesome.
All right. See you guys.
Peace
Bye,
out.
Jordan. Bye, Rug Boy.
Bye.
This is the Jock and Nerd podcast. Oh, Carlos is back. All right, never mind. I was going to say Jock and Nerd podcast post show. Jump on in. You were cracking me up though. Carlos was. Let's get this.
In the comments, he was being pretty good.
He was hilarious. Let's see. Let's get this. Boy, now we're having technical issues. Let's get this.
You're gonna have to refresh yourself.
Let's get this. Oh, here he is.
Here he is.
Buenos días, ¿cómo están?
Oh, orale, Holmes. What's up, man? Hey, let's get this deal done. I want to. We want to.
La 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 bamba. That's the only Spanish I know.
I can start talking.
La 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 bamba.
I can talk in Urdu and really just confuse everyone if you want.
It'd be sick if we did the whole show in Klingon.
I think it'd be hilarious if each of us spoke a different language that the others don't know, and we try to have a conversation. How would that work?
Okay.
Nothing matches. It's like
well, nobody knows what anybody else is saying.
Did he just talk about a Chinese menu? What?
Carlos, we're on the record, so this may go in the feed. It's definitely going on our YouTube page. Why don't you plug your site and your podcast and what you do real quick?
Okay. Well, let's see. I do a website called The Lounge Network, and I have multiple shows on there. Excuse me.
TLN. That's what TLN stands for.
Yes, sir. And so the Lounge Network is my giving back since I worked in the entertainment industry and also as a sci-fi fantasy illustrator, is my give back to support independent filmmakers and musicians and artists of all types.
Cool.
So the Indie Lounge is one of the shows, and that's the musicians. Then another one is called Artist Alley, where I do cover well-recognized illustrators and filmmakers and so on. And so that's where there's Dave Dorman, who did all the illustrations for the Star Wars comic books in terms of the cover art. I also interviewed Dorian Vallejo, who is Boris Vallejo's son.
Oh, cool.
If anybody knows who that is.
Yeah, Boris Vallejo.
I met Boris Vallejo one
time.
You
met Boris? Yeah, we're big illustration fans.
I painted with Boris at his house. So, because I went to school at the School of Visual Arts in New York. And
oh, sweet.
So my world is in the middle of when Marvel and DC and the chaos between the comics was all happening.
Dude, I went to Pratt.
Oh, well, I tried to apply to Pratt.
I only applied to Pratt. And twice. I got rejected. I went back. I drew some more shit. I shot it. I made slides. I sent it. And then they let me in.
I used Imran's bathroom at Pratt.
Yeah. That's where I met Rug Boy, was at Pratt.
I'll try to give you as quick a story as possible about how I got into SVA. I did not apply like everybody else.
Oh, he did what Rug Boy did. He just showed up and started going to class.
Something like that. So I went to FIT for 1 year. And I did the same exact thing to FIT as I'm about to tell you. The same day I registered for my second year, I quit. Walked across town, there's in Manhattan, walked into the school, met with the president of the school and said, I want to apply here and register today. And he's like, no, you got to, do the testing.
There's a process.
Exactly. There's a whole process. And I'm like, I don't have time for that. Today's registration day. I got to register today. And he's like, there's no process for that. I'm like, well, who's in charge here? I'm like, well, I mean, I'm the president of the school. I'm like, well, then I came to the right place, right? I mean, you're the guy. And basically, he had security pull me out. I snuck back into the school, came straight back to his office. And I'm like, I'm not leaving until you let me into this school. He's like, well, there's a whole testing process. Then we got to see the portfolio. And then this whole thing, I'm like, look, how about this? What does it take portfolio wise, because I already went to art school. So what do you need? He said, well, you need a portrait of this, you need a drawing of this, you need a So I said, okay, I'll be back in about 2 hours. And then you're going to tell me that I'm coming to the school. He's like, he laughed it off. He said, look, man, just go. I went. I found models. I had people pose for me in the street. I drew them. And I came back. And he was, the school has a lot of buildings. I ran across the buildings. I hunted him down and I found him. And he's like, man, you are persistent. I'm like, exactly. So I showed him the artwork. He's like, okay, well, these are good. I'm like, well, let's just say hypothetically, this was testing day and you decided to review the portfolio. Would you let me in? Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, you're qualified. You know what you're doing, this and that. I'm like, okay. He had the registration papers, just sign off on them. And he just shook his head. He's like, this is not how it works. I'm like, who's going to know? He signed the papers.
Oh, shit.
That's how you get into art school, people. God damn, that's a great story.
Yeah.
But you went out and drew how many pieces? A whole whatever he asked for.
I think it was about between 7 to 10 pieces.
You didn't have work you could have brought with you, like existing work.
So the reason I did this, I went to FIT. I did the same thing to FIT. So quick again.
Carlos don't fuck around. He's like, you're letting me in. Okay.
So my backstory is when I was 15, I started working professionally in advertising. I worked at the largest ad agency in the United States.
What? BBDO?
Actually, before it was BBDO, they got bought out and turned into BBDO.
Oh shit!
It was Wells Rich Green.
Oh wow!
And so what ended up happening was I was working there as a kid. I was going to the High School of Art and Design, and I was doing paste and mechanical art. So this is before Photoshop, Illustrator, all that stuff.
Is this in? So it's still in New York City, also, right?
That's right. Yeah, it's right off of 9 West Fifth Avenue, and it's that curved building that you see in this Silver Surfer movie. Anyway, and so when I've been working professionally and going to high school at the same time, I wanted to take a year off, and my parents were like, hell no, you're going to college. So I went to FIT. I did not apply, and I did the same exact thing to them. But it was more interesting with SBA because I like that school better. Anyway,
That's a great school.
I went the first year, end of the year. The school wasn't all that great in terms of what I was trying to do. For fashion and all that stuff, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
98% women.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, the numbers are good there for that. But if you actually want an education, maybe less distracting.
So that was the thing.
I should have went there instead of Pratt.
So
yeah, I don't know why you were hanging out with us schmucks, you idiot.
I know. I didn't know.
Doesn't it sound terrible? But most of the girls there had boyfriends in other states. Well, if you're
that's even better.
If you're a guy in college, exactly. If you're a straight guy in college going to a school like this, they all cheat on their boyfriends.
That is a jock and nerd tip for you going to college, folks. That's the strategy you want to take. Sound advice from Carlos, actually. That's interesting. Let's talk about your illustration. What were you influenced by? When did you start? What do you like to paint?
Well, so I went to high school art and design. I started off with comics, just like the little Spider-Man doodad up here.
Yeah.
And like all kids, they start copying the comic books, that type of thing, coloring books and all that jazz. I used to doodle on my homework.
What'd you draw early on? Like, I always remember shit I drew when I was a kid.
Mostly Marvel, Wolverine, Spider-Man, that type of thing.
Yep. Same thing with me, dude. Like, yeah.
And then I had a hero. My hero was Boris.
Boris is amazing. I mean,
I was more of a Frazetta guy myself.
What? So what is the difference? Why Boris over Frazetta?
Because of the airbrush.
No, he's oil.
Both are oil? Both are oil.
Yeah, so the key differences between Boris and Frazetta painted out of his head after years of practice from models. And Boris paints from models.
All that stuff was referenced.
Somewhat. I mean, there's a lot that he puts that from his head. Like, he can paint a horse out of his head. Boris is a big fanatic of horses.
Yeah.
And they both so Boris is more traditional. Frazetta is more original, I guess you can say.
But I thought Boris used airbrush. I used to see him in airbrush magazines all the time.
I don't think he would ever know what to do with an airbrush. All his work is oil. In fact,
that's so crazy.
So when I went to school of visual arts after I finally got in, coincidentally in my painting classes, Dorian Vallejo, Boris's son, are in my classes.
Oh, cool.
So we became great friends.
Yeah.
Most classmates are fantastic artists who are probably doing most of the book covers that we see in bookstores today.
Did Dorian have his dad's skills?
He was better.
What? Really?
Better. Yeah. I mean, his fine artwork now is phenomenal. And you'll see some of that artwork if you go to the website.
What is the URL of the site? You never gave that up.
It's theloungenetwork.com.
Theloungenetwork.com. Right on. So you saw this stuff. Are you oil painting at this point?
I do oil, yes. Oil and wood.
Wow. That is impressive. If you've ever oil painted, people, it never dries and it's very smelly but it's just gorgeous.
Well, the techniques that I use allow me to dry it within a day.
Are you using really thin? You're thinning it down thin layers?
Depends on the job, but most of my artwork is all.
So, what do you gesso the boards first?
Oh yeah, so it's usually a masonite panel of wood.
Okay.
Primed. It takes the paint so well. Yes.
Oh, because it absorbs. It's more absorbent.
Yes.
Well, what it is, I do 11 coats of gesso.
Holy shit, that's a lot of priming.
It takes about a full day just to set up the wood. Yeah.
Okay, so that helps the drying process.
Like no one knows about what we're talking.
I know this is total inside art geek shit.
I'm interested.
So yeah, and each layer has to be sanded down to be smooth.
Oh, geez.
The reason I don't use canvas is I don't like the gritty,
the texture of the canvas coming through.
Yeah, you can see the texture, and when you reproduce it, you don't see it on a masonite board.
Unless you use a shit ton of fucking impasto technique paint and slop it on there.
Yeah,
you're fighting that texture of that canvas, where some people like the texture.
Yeah, and the thing is that if you're doing that as a profession, you have deadlines, and deadlines are what makes you a paycheck. So with FIT though, in between the 2 years, I went to school in Italy and really got blown away by the masters. Came back and I said, okay, I can't come back to a school where all I'm doing is dating and not learning. So I quit that day and went.
Wow, you had that's a good dedication, because I don't know how many guys could think with the other brain and make that pull the cord,
Well, one brain looks like a paintbrush. Never mind, I'm kidding.
My paintbrush pain said, "Stop banging all these chicks. I'm getting lonely over here."
And so I went to the other school, and it was phenomenal. And I ended up working professionally before I even got to finish college. So,
what was your first pro gig?
Actually, I didn't even have to paint because they bought the rights to my portfolio.
What?
Yeah. So
somebody bought your whole portfolio.
Well, no. Well, so I was just learning how to paint at School of Visual Arts.
Okay.
I did 2, maybe 3 finished pieces, and that was my portfolio. So it was like 2 or 3 pieces, and when I put it up, they basically said, "I love these pieces. Can I use them?" And it was for a comic book of poetry, by Robert E. Howard.
Wow. What were the pieces?
It was a barbarian piece.
Okay.
And a mermaid piece.
Wow. God damn, you didn't even expect to make money off this, and they're like, we want to buy these.
Yeah, so this was the mermaid piece. Hold on.
Man, the most I painted was something at a wine and palette.
Out of what?
At a wine and palette place, where they like.
That's that drink and paint where everybody paints the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
I don't understand that. Like, what is it? Just drink. What are you doing? Oh, wow. Oh, that's nice. That's very nice.
So that's
oil?
Oil.
All your stuff is oil. Everything.
Jeez, man.
And anyway, so
do you have a gallery website with all your art on there?
Somewhat. I just did this webpage of I was looking for work, and somebody suggested I should do like a website that kind of can show all the different things I've done. So I just did like not a portfolio website, but it's more like a resume type website.
Gotcha.
And so it's carlosphoenix.com. But yeah, and fast forward to now, I like to interview some of the artists that I've worked with and some of the movie directors I've worked with, and show, and basically the idea is to people who are young, who are talented, who might be afraid of stepping into that. The stories are, with all the stories, are very in depth. They're not like when you read an article on a magazine. It's like with Dorian. With Dorian, I used to sleep over at his house. We talk about those type of stories, the things that influenced us when we were young, and so the whole influence from when we were children to what made us into what we are now. And
I have some questions.
Yeah.
Well, you're an illustrator, and I don't know if you still do work, or you're still working in the field.
No, I left both fields because I was kind of working two careers at the same time, and after a car accident, I left.
Okay, so how do you feel about the temperature of that industry? I mean, I feel like, I know a lot of artists, and they have all differing opinions about the illustration and concept illustration business. And, a lot of these kids are going to these schools hoping to get jobs. And it's really a strange world out there.
Yeah, the commercial side of illustration is way different than it was even when we were in school.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't, it's more digital now, just like everything else.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But like the traditional, like when you think of illustrators back in the day, you had movie posters, book covers,
Drew Struzan, yeah.
All that shit is not around, and they're looking for people who know Photoshop, where they can tell, put that head there, make it purple.
Well,
exactly.
The guys who are established are still around, so you'll find a book in like the bookstore called Spectrum, and you'll see a lot of sci-fi fantasy art in that book.
You're a Drew Struzan fan at all?
Drew. Yes, I'm a huge fan of Drew. And I have a story about that, but I don't think it'd be the right place to.
No, well, here, the reason I mentioned that, and the reason why I'm so glad we met you and we can start this partnership, because your mission falls in line with what we do on the show. What I've been doing is I've been going back to the cats I graduated with from Pratt, and they've gone on to do stuff. So we've had an Oscar winner on the show, one of my buddies who I went to school with. We've had a guy, he works at Saturday Night Live. We've done an interview with Greg Wiseman, producer Greg Wiseman. Another buddy made the documentary, Drew, the man behind the poster.
Oh, yeah, actually, I think I bought that DVD.
He did that. Eric Sharkey, we had him on the show. So we also talk to photographers, filmmakers, musicians, independent artists. We try to promote local artists. I think this would be a great partnership. And I would love to get you on the show to do a whole show about you. And I'd love to be on the Lounge Network.
So what I mentioned, when I was mentioning was I would love to have whatever your series of shows are.
Yeah.
On the Lounge Network.
No problem.
You got it. As a compliment the website, but it's right in line with everything that I'm talking about.
No, dude, whatever we got to do, you got it. And then we'll do a show about you, because I like our listeners to get to know the people who run these networks whenever we jump on. And you're really interesting, and I could geek out about art with you forever. So I think we can have a great interview show, and you can plug your stuff, and it'll just be, we're promoting each other's audience to each other, so it's just going to help us both. I'm very excited. I'm very excited.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
I can't even stand up right now.
I know. Red Boy's leaning on his desk.
Whoa!
He has no spine, people. He's just floppy. It's not his fault.
Hey, don't insult me.
Yeah, floppy fucking felty.
Don't call me floppy.
I'm sorry.
I'm very rigid.
Flipping. So you obviously you like all the same shit we do, Carlos. This is great.
Much, yeah.
What was my question? My go-to illustration method was always, I loved working in acrylics and like gouache and layers with India ink, and then doing a lot, and then kind of using that clear coat between layers and working that, and adding colored pencil and shit. Like that was always fun. But now I have this tablet, this drawing tablet that I could draw right on the tablet. It's not as messy, and it recreates all the same kind of brush strokes. It's very weird. Ooh, check her out.
So this
wowza.
Got a gun.
That's an underpainting.
Oh, that's
yeah.
That's exactly. The bottom coat, and you got the values plate. Like, yeah, that's what guys are doing. Like, there's techniques in Photoshop where you just work in black and white, and you use gradient masks to change all the color instantly with a couple of clicks. Like, I want all this switched, and you go boom, and I was like, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, so that has some acrylic washes on it, and then you paint on oil on top.
Yeah, I mean, you're working old school like Drew in that documentary. Like, there was great stories of like the fact that he had to cut parts of his work and repaint over it. I was like, oh fuck, that's crazy.
Oh man, I have stories like that.
And then the story about the poster for The Thing, which is like he was given the night before, they call him. They're like, we need a poster. We don't know what the movie's about, and we need you to have it done tomorrow. And he creates possibly the most iconic fucking movie poster. Like, everybody knows that poster. And
genius.
He said it was still wet when he sent it off with them the next morning. Just pulled it out of his ass, and it's an amazing fucking poster.
I know he's a great artist, and there's so many of these guys that we don't even know about.
Yeah,
that's the tragedy.
Who's following in his footsteps now?
And that's the key. That's the reason I want to do some of this. Like right now, we're probably in the last few generations of traditional painters. And I'd love to just get their story.
Do you think that's going to go away forever? Like, it'll be gone. Like, nobody will be painting.
People will be doing that as a hobby, but as far as getting work, it's a little bit harder. One of the key reasons I got hired is because I was able to paint probably as fast as a digital illustrator.
That is key. That's the key. You can't, if you got to keep up with the speed, to the fastest guy fucking wins, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, again, it's deadlines. So, I mean, I'd be like, I got picked up to do something by Acclaim. There was Acclaim Comics, and they.
You didn't like Acclaim Comics, Rugs?
They ruined Valiant.
Oh, they ruined Valiant? Did they buy it?
Yeah, they did.
Before the Indian kid bought it again.
Yeah.
Days of the Man of War, and they had they also did the comics for Magic the Gathering.
That's true.
Right.
So I was doing paintings for Magic the Gathering.
Nice.
But the paintings were not like.
Was Rebecca Guay working with you at the time?
No, I mean I just do my paintings at home.
Oh, okay.
But the ideas they had were, we want to see what it would look like to have this card and this card battle this card.
Yeah.
And so instead of it being, I would take characters that existed already in the game, and I would do an illustration based on that. So there's more scenes where they're. You know how, if you know Magic at all, there's combination moves.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I had to paint what a combination move would look like.
Like in the fantasy world. Well, it's just people fighting. You've just got to paint a battle scene.
Well, for example, one was a rook egg and a special knife. So rook egg was just an egg that the adult version of that was like a flying type of dragon creature. And so it had like a 0, like a 1 defense, but if it grew as an adult, it would be like a warrior. And the knife, if you kill something with that knife, it would absorb the life of whatever you killed.
Soul Knight, like the Soul Blade, like Katana Soul
Blade.
Like
exactly.
What you would do as a combination would be you would kill all the rook eggs and absorb its life. So now you're at full energy. Then it would be reborn as an army of adult warriors.
Whoa! Wow, that's how you play that game. That's crazy.
So the scene is doing that.
So you didn't get to like design any characters. You're pretty much painting how they look.
Or whatever the book or let me see if I
it was already established. The look was established, but you got to have fun. I always thought that was a sweet gig to do those fantasy cards, because you could just have fun with the fucking illustration. And they still, those are still like painted illustration pieces. But of course, the guys are probably doing them all digital.
Hey, what's going on?
What's up? I strive to thrive. This is the Jock and Nerd podcast. It's our post show. Check us out at jockandnerd.com for subscribe to the podcast. But we're just hanging out and geeking out because it's Friday night, and apparently people hang out on the internet now on Friday nights. So here I am.
So the piece that I just put in there, the piece I just put in is one of the Magic paintings. So it's
that's nice. Wow.
That's battle scene with at least
you're really
4 or 5
good.
different cards.
That's nice.
Wowzers.
And that's oil. That's oil.
That's oil. Yeah.
Wow. Dude's got some skills. That's nice. So you're not working currently though. You're trying to get work, is what you said.
Well, no, I have work now. But I built a website to see if maybe having an online resume style portfolio thing.
Well, you got to be online. Your stuff's got to be out there. What's the point of you want people to look at it, right? Even if you're not getting work, you want people to acknowledge the work that you've already done.
Well, and it's easy with your Behance and your DeviantArt. These cats are getting like comic book gigs.
I was stuck in the traditional world. Like I always thought, I was one of those artists that said I will never do it digitally. And now I have conversations with artists who did convert to digital. and I bring that out in the conversation. So we're about to release. Well, I don't know if I can talk about this. We're about to release a book where we went to some of the top sci-fi fantasy artists, and we are going to have a 2-page spread with each artist showing from pencil to finish.
Whoa.
And,
cool. I love that shit.
I will buy that book.
Yeah, I love seeing the progress.
We're going to do a Kickstarter soon. It's not a how-to book. It's just showing off the artists and what they're capable of doing.
The process, yeah.
The process.
Exactly. And then we're going to release an iBook version of it. And I have interviews with the illustrators.
Nice.
If you're on that page, you click on the artist's face.
And you can play the interview.
And you watch the interview. And
oh, that's great, dude. Yeah, when you set that up, send the link over. We'll definitely plug it.
Awesome.
How long have you been running the Lounge Network? How long has that been around?
It's about 6 or 7 years.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah. So
and you just started it out of just pure passion, I'm sure.
Well, yeah, I mean, okay, so because I left the world of art and all that stuff and filmmaking. So after a while, it just doesn't leave you.
No, you got to create. You got to make. We're makers.
So I
made it earlier.
I want to draw.
He made twice earlier, and it was very messy.
Yeah.
And so what I end up doing is saying, you know what? How can I still just thrive in my passion? And then it just dawned on me on, I did work in television for a little while after I quit the industry as doing post-production for like MTV and other television channels. And then the last gig I did in New York before I moved to Atlanta was Good Morning America. So I got the whole camera experience, I got the video editing experience, and I started putting 2 and 2 together and started shooting episodes with artists, and then built my little studio here. And
nice. And
so it's just kind of growing from there.
And have you monetized?
The conversation of a lifetime. I'd have to say no, but this year, starting with Blab, a lot of those conversations have come up, especially with the community talking about how live streaming and all this type of stuff, monetizing. So I'm attacking it from a different angle. And so one of my jobs right now is selling TV studios to major corporations to try and get them involved with advertising in the online world.
Are you trying to get the network guys to advertise on online web shows?
No.
Whoa.
So I'll give an example. Let's say I go to Campbell's.
Okay.
They do soup, they do raviolis, whatever else they do. And I approach them and say, look, there's a whole market right now that's watching a lot of online how-to cooking shows. You have an entire product based on this. Let's sell you a TV studio, everything included, lights, cameras, soundproofing, anything you need, set up, and create content.
Oh, you're selling them a whole studio to make web content really easy and make it hassle-free.
So it's a proprietary studio, but it's super easy to use. So you don't need producers. You don't need all these other, you basically would have a tablet that will have tools on it. Your camera switching, your thirds, all that stuff. You click on it, everything shows up, and you're just producing a show.
So it could be run by one person.
Exactly.
Wow, that's really interesting. I kind of like that setup.
They don't increase their budget. I mean, they basically would buy the equipment, but it's not like A, you're not renting.
Yeah.
2, you're not hiring producers and actors and all this type of stuff. And 3, you get to promote your product.
Wow, that's interesting. And the barrier for entry to make these, you could do a HD web show with broadcast quality camera switching effects for little to no money, and it looks great. It's amazing, and it's so exciting. Like, this is the revolution. Now, back to monetizing. Have you thought about Patreon at all?
Well, yeah, you had mentioned it before. I have a Patreon account.
Okay.
And everything's set up except the video.
Yeah, you need.
I just never do it.
So here's my question with the Patreon, and then I gotta have a follow-up question for Jordan. How long into the project did you? What made you start it, and when did you start? How long in? Like
the lounge type thing.
Yeah, for the Patreon, because obviously you need a base to start with. Otherwise, nobody's.
I probably set it up over a year ago.
Okay, so recently, after 6 years.
Yeah,
because we've.
So first of all, when I first started doing this, I just wanted to prove that I could do it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
website, be able to do and produce content, do it solo. I mean, we didn't have Blab. We didn't have any of this technology that we have today. So everything was raw. I mean, everything was just, I used to shoot traditional. So you had like 2 or 3 cameras. You would then bring the video into the computer. And you have to edit the video and do the graphics and all type of stuff. And then a week later, you have a show.
Yeah.
So then I built this studio to be able to do the same thing in less than an hour.
I love that. I'm the same way. Like doing this show, I just kept trying to figure out how to make things more efficient and cut and automate things and just get everything so that it's a system. And you're like, boom, 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 record. Here's the show notes, post it. It's in the feed. It still takes a little while. Now, Jordan, I wanted to ask you when we were talking about Patreon, if say we set up a Patreon and it starts like $1 a month and we're offering, if you pledge, you get like bonus audio, little content, extra stuff would you do that? Is that offensive to ask? Like, we've been doing this for almost a year, and I'm like, I wonder if in a year is a good time. But I just feel bad asking people. I'm just asking for support. I don't even, would you?
I would do it.
Would you really?
I don't think you should feel bad because it's not like you're saying, give it to me.
Right.
I mean, if they're really enjoying the show and they want to see you around, hopefully they'll do it.
Yeah, that's the thing. The show will always be free and it'll always be around. But like I was saying, and I wanted to ask our listeners, I have all this bonus content, and I would love to like put bits of it for as Patreon thingamabobbers.
I need things to entertain me while I'm at work.
There you go. I don't know. That's why I cut a lot out because I don't want the shows to be too long. But I'm like, man, there's fucking gold after these in these sessions, and just finding places for them. I Strive Through Thrive says he has a geek show starting on Blab soon, January 27th. I love hearing that. We need more geek shows on the Blab. And it's interesting how Blab is causing more people to become podcasters. And we did it the other way around. We had a show. We were recording like this on Skype.
Sorry, go ahead.
And then we just started doing it here. And we're like, hey, this works over here. So we came with a show.
Right. I mean, like I mentioned before, it took me about 3 months to be able to have a conversation and do camera switching in real time.
Yeah, I'm trying to mess around with like Cam Twist. That already it's too many things to keep track of. I don't know how you do that. Well, you need a producer to run the camera switcher.
Oh yeah, I mean I use a better tool than Cam Twist, but still, you need to have the ability to know where your controls are without, while staring at the camera. It's kind of like learning how to play piano, I guess.
Yeah, without looking down, or typing without looking down.
And so yeah, it took a lot of practice, especially if I'm going to do graphics and then introduce videos and then introduce art, all while still conversing with the person.
The samurai piece is nice.
Yeah, so that's just showing the sketch that's under the painting and then the painting when it's done.
So this is like how big? Same size as the other ones? You mostly paint like the same size, that size?
Yeah, that's just about the average size that I paint. I have a canvas now that's more like half or maybe taller, about 4 feet tall. I don't want to get my hands on.
Very cool. It says show them Batman. This is the Jock and Nerd podcast. Show us Batman. God damn it.
Show me Jason Bateman.
Bateman? Not Bateman.
Oh, I thought he was Bateman.
Go away, Bateman.
Let's see.
I like Jason Bateman.
He's very good on Arrested Development.
It's your move.
See, this is why I like you guys' show, because there's always something interesting that always happens. New people.
Yeah,
new things.
Yeah, Carlos is awesome.
Oh, thank you.
Here's Batman.
On this piece, I was 25. I was 25. I had just finished working on one of the Batman movies, and then I did a Batman comic book version.
Wait, you worked on the movie? Which movie? What'd you do?
Oh,
this guy keeps getting more and more interesting every fucking second. Oh, you worked on Mr. Freeze? What? Wait, what did you do for them?
Well, we're doing it was in conjunction with a couple of other illustrators.
I like how you grunted and you're like, the disgust was great because, yeah.
Chill out. Sorry.
What was his? Stick around. No, that's a different movie.
Sorry.
Did you paint? You paint concept shit for them?
No, it was the toy boxes, their games, puzzles, stuff like that. Very illustrated stuff.
How did you ever see it on the shelves? Isn't that a great feeling when you see your fucking work on toy shelves?
Yes, if I had a chance to see them on the shelves. I mean, when you're working, you're working. Like, see, back in those days, I was working out a lot, so that's actually a painting of myself as Batman. And
snap, nice.
And
dude, you're ripped.
So, well, I was not much now anymore, but
I like the long Bernie Wrightson style ears.
Well, okay, so here's a little funny twist on this. You guys are familiar with gargoyles?
Oh yeah, we interviewed Greg Wiseman on the show.
All right, now check out the gargoyle that Batman's on.
It's is it what? Oh, it's the main one. Is that what was his name? I can't remember.
That's the one that was like the dog.
Oh, he was the dog gargoyle. Nice little nod to gargoyles. Who's your favorite comic book hero, Batman?
Oh God. Oh. I mean, overall, I'd have to say Spider-Man.
Yes.
Oh shit!
But in terms of DC, I'd have to say probably Batman. But I don't like any of the Batman movies. So
none of them have a place like in your heart somewhere as a kid. Not even 89.
The closest one will be the Michael Keaton one.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. 89 Batman at that time, if you experienced it, was just like magic. You're like, but we were talking about. I was talking with Anthony about this. This is very interesting. Is will we see another auteur version of a superhero? Meaning similar to that was Sam Raimi Spider-Man. That was Tim Burton Batman. These are definite styles given by those guys' vision. The factory that Marvel has created now doesn't really lend itself to that. Do you think we'll ever see anything like that? Even like Kick-Ass? No, it's done.
No, but I'm okay with that. Like for example, the only thing I liked about the Batman movie, the first one, is how it influenced the cartoon.
True.
Right? The cartoon was way better Batman than any Batman movies ever made.
That's the best Batman on screen.
But I'll watch Daredevil and be like, how come Batman wasn't this good? From the fight scenes to the darkness to the whole like I can fight in the dark type of stuff. I'm like,
Dark Knight Returns does nothing for you. That's hailed as like the Godfather of fucking Batman comic book movies.
I believe that I'll probably enjoy the new one.
Okay. Yeah, what do you think about Batfleck? We're gonna have Batfleck.
But I want to see how kind of glitzy and fancy they make it. And
it's flashy, you mean? It's gonna be flashy and it's gonna be sour and all mean face and pouty.
When it started looking gritty in the first trailers, I was like, okay, all right, I'm liking this. Yeah. Like if it had any kind of flavor to Sin City, I think I might enjoy that.
But did you see that TV spot where the fucking Batmobile bounces off Superman? It's fucking ridiculous. It looks fucking laughable. It looks like a comedy.
Yeah.
Get it?
Yeah.
I still think
I don't have a problem with that. The Batmobile bouncing off Superman, like that would happen.
Well, the thing is, I heard someone from DC say the one thing we're not going to do in our movies is have too much comedy, if any. Like they wanted to differentiate themselves from the Marvel movies. Because the reason Marvel's so successful is because there's some slapstick in it.
Well, it's got it's a balance of everything a little bit. Yeah. And and that's their tone. That's their signature. It's all they need but you know what? The humor that they tried to put in that second trailer, that didn't work either. Like none of that shit was actually funny. It was really, it was cringe inducing. And
then the story that they created for Doomsday was a little disappointing to me, but
I kind of read an article where I think wasn't there a thing where somebody had seen a screening and I kind of read an article that may have spoiled like what's gonna happen in the whole movie.
Oh, don't tell me. Hey, dude. By the way, I gotta get going.
Okay, Ruggs.
All right.
Ruggs.
Bye, Rug Boy.
Listen, everyone. Good night. Follow me on the Twitters. Really, right. Rug Boy. It's good meeting you, Carlos Phoenix, and it's good seeing you, Jordan, and Warren Baylor. He's my boy over there. Thanks for coming on. If he comes back on, tell him I said what's up.
All right, Warren.
It was good seeing you, Imran.
Nice to see you. We'll do this again next week. Yeah.
Okie dokie. Good night.
Good night, Ruggs.
Bye, Ruggs.
We got an open seat if somebody wants to pop in. Feel free. We don't like Zack Snyder, and we fucking shit all over this shit. What'd you think of the Suicide Squad trailer?
So far, I have not been a fan of any of it.
You don't like the Bohemian Rhapsody? I
like the song.
I thought it was a good use of the song, and like structurally, I thought it was cut well. Like
I agree.
He's loading that gun on the beat of the music. That was badass.
I think my issue, and this is a personal issue, so I can't. It's nothing on the movie. I seem to have issues with the evil heroes.
Oh, the bad guys.
I was never a big fan of Dexter. I wasn't a big fan of. Although I'm going to give this another try. Breaking Bad, where the bad guy is the guy you're supposed to be rooting for.
Sopranos. Did you like Sopranos? That's the same thing.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure I would have liked it if I watched it some more, but
you're right. There was a trend of sociopaths being the lead stars, and you're rooting for the sociopaths. In fact, it got to a point where like I had to stop watching shows. I was so disturbed. Like The Following. You ever watch The Following, Kevin Bacon?
Yeah, actually, I did enjoy that.
I watched the first season, but it really freaked the shit out of me. I thought like there was cult members everywhere around me, and I was like, any one of these fuckers.
Well, that and The Blacklist. I actually enjoyed The Blacklist.
We know a guy, John Bellotti Jr. He's a scenic painter on that show, and he's been on the show, and he's a big Godzilla nerd.
I've done scenic painting.
Oh, dude, we should.
In the world of movies. What I did was I was art directing or doing sets, set dressing stuff.
Dude, you are super interesting. Yeah, we got to do a whole Carlos show and introduce our listeners to you and the Lounge Network and all this. And any movie stuff, drop the link. I don't know what it means. But send us an email or a DM, however you want to get our shows. I can send you. I don't know how you work it over there. If you want.
Well, I mean, you can do. I mean, right now you can just DM me, and then we can go from there.
Okay, I will make sure to do that because absolutely, I think we're a good match, and I'm really interested to hear these interviews because I love interviews with artists, dude. We geek out with artists all the time, and I just like get lost in it.
Well, I did a blab with I don't know if you're familiar with not Vampirella, Vampirotica.
No, is that like a more sexy
Vampire Luxura?
Oh.
This is during the time when the femme fatales were popular in comic books.
Okay, yeah.
Like She,
yeah. We met that dude.
All right. Well, Bill Tucci and I went to college at FIT.
Oh shit, you know Tucci too. I knew him years ago, and I would see him at conventions. I was with a small company for a couple of years that then we put all our money into it to go off, but we would have tables next to Tucci, and he was he's a good guy.
Now, so Tucci introduced me to Frazetta. Like him and Frazetta were good friends.
Yeah.
So when I was in college at FIT, Bill Tucci was running for school president.
Oh, okay.
And the character of She is based off of one of our teachers at FIT.
Oh, get the fuck! I always thought She was a very sexy character. Whoever he
based. Her name is based on the teacher.
Okay. She didn't look like that. That's disappointing.
No, she was old, and I think she passed. She was old. But she was a very brutal teacher.
Rug Boy, I was going to ask him, do you know J. David Spurlock by any chance?
I don't think so.
So J. David Spurlock is a publisher for Vanguard Publications. Okay. He publishes all the Frazetta art books. He hangs out with the daughters, like the Frazetta girls.
Yes, in fact, they have some of my paintings.
Oh, he's also the director of the estate of Wally Wood, so we interviewed him on a show, and he talked about how Wally Wood actually designed the red costume for Daredevil and the baton and did a lot of work and the double interlocking logo, and Wally Wood's name is not on the credits for Daredevil. So there's this whole push to get Wally Wood credit, which I think he deserves. Bill Everett lasted like 5 issues and then left. And Wally Wood, you should listen to the interview. It's pretty interesting because Wally Wood basically changed it on his own without even asking anyone. He didn't tell Stan fucking Lee. He's like, why is the guy who's the man without fear, why is he wearing yellow, which is the color of fear? He's like, I'll fucking change. And he changed it, and it blew up, and the book was about to be canceled, and he comes on, and it's a resurgence for Daredevil, but no credit. But now, just like Batman vs. Superman, Bill Finger is getting credit for Batman along with Bob Kane, and Gotham TV show will also say created by Bob Kane and Bill Finger. Finally, after like 75 years.
Well, it was issues like that started the whole drama where Image was born.
Yeah, that's why. So I love this stuff. I love creator right stuff. Marvel is doing with their movies what they did with their books early on. They've set this template. It's a Marvel style, and literally the stories I've heard is Stan would just give the artist like 3 lines to describe the plot, and the artist would pretty much come up with all the pacing, the plotting, and then Stan would come in, fill out the words to whatever match, and then put written by Stan Lee.
But you know who started all that?
Who started that? Where did he learn that from?
Disney.
Yes, of course. They are the first conspirators of co-opting fucking literature, and everybody thinks Disney wrote The Little Mermaid and Snow White and fucking Sleeping Beauty. Like, if you ask anyone, they're like, oh yeah, Disney wrote that. No, you fucking idiots. Open a book or open an internet. But
yeah, they think that.
But they're such, like, Disney are evil geniuses. Like, I love their stuff, but they're so smart and so evil at the same time.
They're buying our childhood and then relaunching it.
They're gonna relaunch everything they made. They're like, hey, let's just make it again in live action. If it was live action, let's make a cartoon version. If it was a cartoon, let's make it live action. Like, the Jungle Book, are these live action animals singing and shit? Like, what is this?
Probably.
That's weird. That's not right.
Yeah, but she has a sexy voice in that snake.
Who is that snake? It's
Scarlett Johansson.
Oh, yeah. Who is it?
And it's Scarlett Johansson?
Yes.
Oh, it's ScarJo. But they're gonna make so much money and people are gonna see it, but they're just there's 2 Jungle Book movies coming out and a Tarzan all at the same fucking time.
So Jordan.
What's up?
You haven't been talking.
I'll be right back.
I've been listening. I don't pretend to know things I don't know, but I like to listen and learn from other people.
Gotcha. Now that's a big drink.
It's a hospital cup.
Wow. I got to go to the hospital more often.
I'm sure this costs like, $100 or something.
Try to buy a Starbucks coffee like that. That'll be $1 million, please.
Yeah, it's 32 ounces.
Oh, wow. It looks bigger than that, but okay.
Yeah, it's really good for water.
So he's still recording. I don't know if he's going to do anything with us talking. Good luck, illegal in New York City. What? Oh, yeah, you're right. That's pretty sick.
Well, I am a cake artist.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. I decorate cakes for a living.
Do you do any kind of cheesecakes?
Jordan, painting with frosting is just like oil painting. Like, it's the same skill, man.
I did this cake for my nephew's birthday.
Oh, wow, that's good.
That's very cute.
Yeah, it is cute. Well, I didn't even know who the heck these things were until my sister told me that Zoomy or something.
It's some fucking kids thing, isn't it? I have no idea.
Yeah.
The closest thing I did to any kind of artwork relating to cake or pastries was in the New York Cheesecake Factory.
Oh, really?
They had gotten written in the New York Times as like the best cheesecake in town, blah, blah, blah. So they hired me to do an illustration of the writer who wrote that article.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
So I'm like, okay. And I'm thinking maybe, it's already cooked and I'll just draw with some kind of thing on top of it. It was liquid.
Oh, so they
want to draw on the liquid. And then when they bake it, it's solidified.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, I've never done this. You're an artist. You can do anything. And I did.
How did that work? How did it come out? Did it spread out? Or
so I did 5 different illustrations for the different editors and whatever. And we baked it, and that was it. It was one of a kind piece of art, and they ate it.
Did you use the squeezy bag full of whatever chocolate?
No, because you know what? I don't remember how I did it. It was some kind of food coloring, and I couldn't use anything because you don't want the ink to fall in.
Yeah. Did you use a brush? What was your application tool?
God, I don't remember. It's
like a piping bag?
Ages ago. What was that?
Was it like a piping bag?
That's what I was trying to say. Piping bag.
I don't remember.
It probably was. Or something like that.
Something like that. It's got to be.
I love the sugar artist. I love the way you can manipulate sugar at different temperatures and make crazy things. And it's sugar. You're like, that's fucking sugar. Get out of here. It's amazing.
Let's see. Do I have that here?
We do a lot of chocolate stuff.
I want to do something like this in sugar art.
In fondant.
Oh, a little goblin head. Is that possible in sugar art?
Man, who knows?
Did you sculpt that?
No.
That thing's awesome.
I think it was sculpted by somebody else that I interviewed on the Lounge Network. That's right bigger. Although I don't know if it's on the website right now. I think it is.
Sugar art is nuts. What else? Anybody want to jump in? What else is going on? I think I may. Listen, I've been on here.
It's like 3 hours.
Oh, look, there's Anna.
I'm at 3.5.
3.5. It's good. Usually I'm for good 3 to 4 hours.
Yeah, the longest show I did was 5 hours, and it was all about content.
Wow. No, and then it's just there was so much to talk about. Hi there. How's it going?
Hi. Good.
So
Good.
You guys know each other, I'm thinking.
Yeah. And I will say Anna's my biggest cheerleader.
Dude, she's like your best. Like
what?
she's
my biggest cheerleader.
Yeah, you were great. You were. I thought like she was your producer. Like she's dropping links. She's backing up things in the comment.
Just trying to help.
We need someone like that on the Jock and Nerd podcast because Rug Boy with his felty hands is fucking useless. Can't type. Jordan, you want to be our?
Jordan's like, I'm so there. She's like, what?
I would love for you if you could be our comment blab producer. That'd be fantastic, dude. I would love, because I've seen a lot of people do that, and it's a great idea. And I can't always fucking grab links, but
it's good to have a third host to do that. The show just moves so well. The two hosts on screen do their thing. The third host in the chat does their thing, or a third person,
Yeah, that's
well, Jordan did a lot of interacting with me on the chat. I'll say.
Yeah,
you did nice things.
And I, we're just like buddies. We're partners.
Because we usually have 3 hosts. The Jock was out today, but Jordan, next time, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to send you our show notes with all the links.
Okay.
And then you just follow along however you see fit, and I'll send you links to our website and iTunes and all the stuff to share. And let's see what happens. If you really that would be really cool.
I would absolutely do that.
Sweet.
I'm all here, so I'll do it.
We got a blab producer. Yay.
Woo!
Let's start a network.
Blab producer's born. Yeah.
Anna, what are you into? What do you like to geek out about?
Oh my gosh, this. Whatever Carlos is into. What do I like to geek about? Oh my gosh.
I like turtles being intimate with each other. What are you doing?
Turtles.
Turtles. Well, you gotta get baby turtles somewhere. What do I like to geek out about? Oh gosh.
What do you watch on
I'll get on the screen and all of a sudden.
Sorry. Okay, look, I'll help. What do you watch on the television?
I like to watch some of the newer shows as they come up, and my favorite thing to do is I do a 2-screen thing where I'll watch the TV show and then I'll have Twitter going at the same time, and I'll tweet live. Yeah. That worked really well once with that Tuesday show with the guy with three names, Neil Patrick Harris.
Oh yeah.
That went well. I had a tweet that went kind of big. I asked them to do a certain thing, and they said, "Here you go."
Oh,
boom!
Shit.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that tweet had like 30 hits. I was like, yes.
Isn't that fun? Like it's great that the live tweeting is a lot of fun, and it's great for. I wish we did it more for superhero shows because it helps people get to know you. But it's like this crazy. The multi-screen viewing is nuts. Crazy ongoing conversation.
It's tough on my eyes. Oh my gosh.
Hard to follow a lot.
Because this is my reading glasses, and then I have.
Because then while you're tweeting, you like miss shit on the show, and you're like, "Oh fuck, I gotta rewind."
No, you can't rewind it because it's live. So it's not like if it was Amazon, I could do that, but you can't live tweet when you're Amazoning because you're binging, and so 3 a.m. and whatever.
You guys ever do? AMC does this thing called Story Sync on their website for some of their shows. It's fucking cool and fun as hell. Like you watch Walking Dead, and I'll pull up Story Sync, on my iPad, and so it's timed with moments in the show. Like it'll show you like a little clip or what something happened. It'll show you what it refers to. It's called AMC Story Sync, and they do it for a lot of their shows. And then there's like polls, and it's all time to go with the live broadcast of the show. Lots of fun, great interactive experience. But the live tweeting is just nuts.
The live tweeting is better because there's a human body on the other side.
Like you can actually
making typos. It's awesome. I love it. If you get a chance to follow, the hack of that is if you're watching a show, a lot of people will zero in right on the show and follow that link on the Twitter. That's the mistake. If you want to have real engagement, follow the writers.
The writers and maybe the cast.
Yeah, because they have in jokes and side stories, and that's where it gets interesting.
I heard another power tip on a.
That might be my geek thing.
That's awesome. No, I heard this awesome power tip on a podcast about this, where you could to use multiple lists, to have a list of just the hashtag of the show, and then have a list of the writers, the actors, and then the show.
I can make a list of them. That's brilliant. I haven't done that yet.
Then you can filter out the fan content from the actual makers content, and then look at those hashtags. And I was like, that's really
I like idea. That. Yeah. I have lists on Twitter, but I have so many people I'm following that Blab is just like, oh my gosh, there's so much activity with Blab. It's good, but like I got behind again on all my tweet lists.
It's amazing how we live in a world where you could be watching a show and then you can actually send a message to the person on the show.
The authors, oh my gosh, or the photographer jumps in and goes, "Oh, this was this shot."
And get like awesome insight and behind.
Yeah, I kind of geek on theater and TV stuff and where those two interact. When I was a kid, I watched a lot of PBS on my own because I didn't have a lot of adult supervision. So instead of watching horror movies, which were terrifying, I would watch French and college programming in the morning before school.
Oh, wow. So
I was that kid. Yeah.
I mean, that's high culture for someone that age too. Like your experience. Yeah. You know.
Yeah, I was like younger than
watching
10.
Cartoons.
Yeah.
I
was 5 to 10, I think, when I was watching my own stuff. Because there was something to do, and you got so bored. And my mom said, "This is one of those things about giftedness." I was trying to tell you about this, Carlos, about giftedness. That there's this constant curiosity, and it's like a need, it's like a hunger. You have to learn about stuff. And so I could see that with how you have to create, and it's a different aspect of the same thing. Anyways, but with giftedness, it's like. My mom said, not only did I have to travel, when we traveled on long trips down to Long Island, it wasn't just a matter of bringing one encyclopedia, it was bringing two. Because the Colliers only went so far, and then the Britannica went the rest of the way. Yeah.
Listen, speaking of what can someone tell me? At my mom's house, we have a whole encyclopedia set that was barely used. From the late 90s, and I can't fucking give the shit. Like, what are you supposed to do with these things? I feel bad. Just who will take it? Like, libraries are like, we don't want it. It's old. It's millions of pages of old news. I mean, some of it's accurate, I suppose. Isn't that weird?
It's good. I actually did kind of downsize my Colliers because of the same reason. It was the 1990s. I kept the architecture one because I figured that's never going to go out of style. The information's vetted, it's all good, solid. That's not gonna, so I kept the A and a couple others, and the rest of them I got rid of. But if I had the chance, I miss them. I would like to, like, what if the power goes out? You'd like to be able to look up something.
I suppose
it's a miniaturized version of Google.
Yeah, it's a printed version of old Google, like I can't fucking
better
give these away.
I like them better than Wikipedia though. If you don't want them, and you just mail them, whatever. Is it Britannica or World, or who is it?
Just it's Britannica, I believe.
Oh, they are the gold standard.
Kids are missing out. They're not gonna have the experience of having.
I'm a homeschooler, and homeschoolers we always use a lot of those. What?
Yeah.
Okay, you're on the phone or something.
No, it's the focus wasn't focusing.
Oh no, it did that. Oh, that's how you're focusing. Oh, smart. You are. Okay.
Focus. Jordan, you had to look stuff up in books. Basically, that's how it worked.
I did that until I was like 10.
You lie.
Good God.
I trust Britannica more than I trust Wikipedia, though. You know what I mean? Wikipedia, they can still hack it. They can get the information wrong. There was a lady who did a TED Talk about how she actually knew somebody who had a Wikipedia page who tried to correct the misinformation in the Wikipedia page, and he tried a couple times to correct it, and they wouldn't let him.
None of that shit is.
It was him. It was his story, and they wouldn't let him.
Man, it's so funny how we could just cite that when anybody could put anything in the fucking Wikipedia.
So I don't trust it. I mean, I'll look at it for like a cursory glance, but if I want to go deep, I go to books.
You gotta find the fucking books.
Oh, the books are incorrect also.
No,
they're all outdated now.
No, well, the maps and stuff are wrong, but but the basic biological information about like
the foundation stuff.
Yeah, the basic stuff like although Mike Collier's didn't have Elizabeth Cady Stanton, so I was okay with getting rid of part of that. So,
Alex, you're using a Manicam there. I see. Are you on a PC?
No.
You're on a Mac? How is that? Because I used it a couple of times on the Mac, but it was eating up my performance and causing issues. And so I downloaded Cam Twist, and I've been playing around with that. I may have to do a blab this week just to test that out. That thing's a lot of fun.
Yeah, you want to be careful with Cam Twist on a Mac, though.
Is this the whole index of the site?
That's the Lounge Network.
That's the homepage.
Oh.
You like the Manicam?
You've never seen the homepage?
Oh no, I recognize it. No, the final four on the bottom. I recognize it. Yeah.
Oh, you have Cam Mask.
Yeah, I did. I had Manicam first.
Are you on a PC or a Mac?
I'm on.
You're on a Mac too.
I'm on a PC. I'm on a Dell.
The Manicam.
I just use Cam Mask for the little effects things it has.
The Spider-Man thing's really cool. Just want to say that.
Like,
yeah.
Now that's fun. Come on.
Yeah.
No, that is cool. I don't have a Stormtrooper.
You can do weird ones too, like these.
Oh, that is creepy as shit. I was gonna say,
you're so sassy,
dude. Angel. Oh my god, that is so fucking creepy. Oh, look at that. That's crazy. You could be anonymous on this if you wanted to. Well, Angel Hill was on the last time we were on, and she was showing this program where it was a.
Like a manga
yes,
character.
But she could change it. It's an avatar, and it mocaps her face like in the movies. Like it puts all these dots, and she's leaning forward and turning her head, and the thing is doing all of it. And she was like a talking hamburger, and then a wolf, and then a fucking anime character. That thing was amazing, but that's only on PC, and I can't play with that, so that's bad. But I don't know. I might need a better computer. I'm going to try the Cam Twist because I just felt like it was stuttering up my fucking video. It was just too many, using up too much resource.
What is that thing that you use to edit with? Is it Excel? No. Try it again. XSplit?
XSplit is the one that's...
Is that the one you use? Yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
That's good on PCs, though.
Forget about it.
A lot of people... Oh, you're Michael Jackson!
I don't think you can use the XSplit on
Wait,
Mac.
you have to talk in a high-pitched voice without... You're Michael Jackson. You got to be like, I don't think you got to have talking to... Hey, Shimon! Allegedly! Shimon, everyone! Shimon!
I really like children.
There you go. The children. What about the children? Look, I love Michael Jackson. I'm a huge Michael Jackson fan. That's awesome.
Children.
Just beat it, okay? Allegedly.
It's got Bill Clinton too.
Oh, no.
I did not have sexual relations.
That woman. Sure, you didn't. You didn't inhale either.
You got Steve Cobb.
Oh shit, that's a. Wait, who's that? There's Mike Tyson. Wow, that's really amazing.
Most of them, you know.
Map it to your fucking face. How is that?
Wow.
That's so creepy.
Flawless. Your foundation's so good today.
It's just smooth. She's a porcelain doll.
She's a doll.
Yeah, I can actually be one.
Oh, he's banging. All I can do is this. It's a real-time effect. So hold on.
There you go. See, it's a little difficult with the cans, but you know.
Yeah. There we go.
Oh my God, is that Spider-Man?
So Spidey.
Oh my God, Spider-Man.
Hey, where did Imran go? This is really creepy. I'm like a homeless furry Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, can I have your autograph?
I have no disguises.
You're so good.
Spider-Man's let himself go, people. It's been a rough day.
I've seen a guy with that bag thing before.
Yeah. Baghead.
Have you seen the Iron Man one of that?
No.
There's an Iron Man jacket that has the hood and then the full mask is transparent.
The eye things, yeah.
Because I can see through this. It's kind of freaky. But I need to get like a Batman one, and I just blend into the
Walmart has them. Just saying.
It looks so realistic. Like I thought I was actually talking to Spider-Man.
Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man here, folks.
Spider-Man.
Jock and Nerd podcast, everyone. That's what's going on. jockandnerd.com. Yeah.
Just do all your shows like that from now on.
When I was initially we got on Blab, I would do half the show like this, and it meow 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 kitty. I used to do half the show like this.
Oh yeah. That was my favorite one when I had Mannequin was the cat.
Yeah, rub me.
Good, Katie.
Pet the pussy.
All right.
So is there any idea what our rating is? There's no idea who flew the rating. It's just...
All right, you know what? Let me close up the recording here, and then we can keep moving out. Everyone, this has been the Jock and Nerd Podcast. Thanks for listening.
Rough day at the office.
I'm gonna play some music on the album.